Spider. Crack Spider. Nice web, Mr. Crack Spider.
C, the active ingredient in marijuana.
Nice web,
THC,
Mr. Crack Spider.
the active ingredient
Nice
in
web,
marijuana.
Crack Spider. Nice spider's behavior was. The web structure was not affected, but the spider's behavior was. The spider's behavior was. The web structure was not affected.
It built a hammock. The spider didn't build a web. It built a hammock. The spider didn't build a web. It built a hammock. The spider didn't build a web. It built
And we are live.
The spider can't build
What it do?
sentences of the
it built
web.
a hammock.
The spider built
How's everybody doing this evening? We have
A hammock. It built a hammock.
a very, very special guest with us, joining us. Finally, Daz.
cocaine spider.
Daz put it together, thankfully.
The cocaine spider. The crack
It built a hammock.
And look who we got. We got Jerk with us this evening, Mr. Brainstorms himself.
Wild card, baby. You don't know
Back
what
for
I'm
the-
gonna fucking say tonight. You know what I'm saying? Get
And his
kicked
levels
off
are
you.
solid. Listen to that. Woo! Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So, tonight, we have got one Mr. Alan Marcus joining us, who is an overall badass, if I may say. Jim will be here in 6 minutes plus one. That's word straight from the
yes.
iMessage's mouth. And Recluse, I will call you immediately after the show. Sorry. But yeah, we're here, we're live, and we're ready to rip. And we've got some fun topics to tackle this evening.
We're starting right in the middle of it.
We are. We actually are. We're waiting for Jim, but he will be here in a few, so it's all gravy. So I guess we'll just start off with everybody's week's going all right. Any chaos we need to address from the jump, I guess. Any of y'all? I mean, as of what was it, about a week or so ago, we know Gordon dealt with some nonsense that we're not gonna necessarily go too deep into, with some psycho Patriot Party far right wing lunatics. But yeah, we'll leave that alone, I guess. Hopefully everything's all cleared up there in Vale, AZ.
Yeah, I should probably talk offline about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
I
offline
will
about
talk to you
that.
about it. Yeah.
It's all good. It's not
But
YouTube worthy.
It's weird, man. It's just crazy, freaking weird. And you try and talk to people and just try and get people to understand somebody else's point of view, and they shut you up. Like the culture is broken, man.
Absolutely. Dissent is very, very frowned upon. In discourse, dissent, any of it, doesn't matter if it's to, gain knowledge, which I think we're all here. That's the mission in life. I'm going to hit record on here too, by the way. But yeah, it's a mess, and we've got to watch our mouths with a lot of things. Hey, Jenny's here. What's up, Jenny? Good to see you. And Ordo, what up, Terry? Good to see you, brother. And Jim will be here in a few minutes, y'all. Just as a heads up.
Did you tweet it out?
I am going I'll tweet it out if someone wants to take over running their mouse. That'd be awesome.
Sure.
Tweet this out right now.
We were in the middle of a conversation. We started recording, and it's like we got this giant onion, and we're just peeling back these layers, and it's a sweet piece of garlic in the middle, and I think it has Elon Musk's genetics in it. I think maybe he's
Maybe
going
his
into.
Asperger's. Who knows?
A GMO onion with
Well,
a
let's-
little fetus
let's-
on the inside.
We have to talk about SNL. I mean,
We do.
nobody talks about
Yes,
SNL.
we do. I didn't.
And
know
now all
that.
of a sudden we're talking about Saturday Night Live
This is
from New York.
Yeah.
We weren't live on Saturday, but in New York they were live, and Elon Musk was hosting with Miley Cyrus. Did you catch that opening monologue, anybody?
I caught that opening monologue, and if anybody in the chat caught that opening monologue, they're trickling in. They'll be trickling in here for a minute, but it's all good. Jenny, Terry, I know we were texting during that. Did you see it? Just hit us up in the chat. Alan, if you want to get in the chat, if everybody can get in the chat, that'd be awesome. That who's present here. But go on. I'm gonna tweet this out while you rage, brother. Alan.
All the videos, they're on YouTube now, and they're starting to get shared, and people are just losing their minds over this stuff. There's people that think this is the most hilarious thing they've ever seen, and we're not gonna make fun of people's preferences for comedy and what they laugh at. We're going to examine the story, the symbolism, the meta-narrative, the synchromistic angles. We're talking about it. We're just sharing ideas.
To be done. And not critique the comedy, not critique the skits, not critique,
We're not talking about the politics of it, the money, the exchanges, the contracts that were signed, the fact that Elon Musk is on SNL. We're talking about it now. We'll probably be talking about it 10 years from now. I think it's that big of an event.
It was. Definitely was.
And it's just, we're still trying to process it. And who wrote these skits? And who wrote the monologue? And how did they carefully choose every word and every maneuver?
It did feel very, very extra scripted. And I remember earlier in the week, Elon was getting flack for even throwing out any ideas for any skits. And then I think it was like Chris Redd who fired back like, well, first thing would be calling them sketches. Like, oh, that's hilarious. Zang, you really got him there, buddy. But anyway, it was
over rehearsed and overacted and overproduced. You're trying to tell me this. You're trying to tell me this is a live show. Now I'm not even going to get into how live was any of these performances. Were some of them recorded previously and then played live? No, I mean like literally live to tape, and then. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't, because there was a few that had to have been. If I had to bet money on it, I would definitely think that a few of them were.
I'm suggesting that you get the digital shorts. We understand those were recorded previously. You have a musical act, Miley Cyrus.
I like Miley, by the way. That's neither here nor there.
Which songs did you? I didn't see her songs.
I don't know her songs, but. I like her as a human, kind of.
She was in a skit, which was pre-recorded with
that
Musk.
Was funny.
The Chad thing.
The Chad, that was funny, and then she was in another pre-recorded with Pete Davidson, where his head blew up that was funny. That was a good skit.
That was the Chad one.
Oh, that was the Chad one.
Yes, you got Elon Musk.
Okay.
And he comes on his headset just like this, and he's like, "Okay, Chad, this is Elon Musk, and I'm here to help you." And Chad's like, "Who are you?"
It was Pete Davidson being like, okay, cool, all right, which is a pretty good character. I'm not a fan of Pete Davidson, but that is actually a pretty good running skit they got going. But go ahead, Alan. Sorry.
And then you got Elon Musk with Chad on Mars.
First person on Mars, by the way, too.
Was Elon? Or was it Chad that was the first person?
Chad was the first man
Miley's
to go to
the second woman, so they went as a couple.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Oh, there was a pod on Mars. Okay, so there was a pod on Mars, right? And the first person to go out, and Chad was the first person who had to go, leave the safe pod to go out into Mars atmosphere. Okay.
Was Miley on Mars, or was she on a digital screen? Because I'm pretty sure in the scene they were
on Mars. I feel
because they were implying that they were going to.
They were banging and
they were going to have some fun times together in the same room. This wasn't like a cyber thing. This was real.
On Mars.
Because the next scene, camera cuts back to Chad, who's taken off all of his clothes and shows all of his tattoos.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's like, you said something about sex, and all of a sudden he's just stark
ready for it.
ready
Ready.
for it, which I understand because I would be too, because it's Miley Cyrus. But then whatever, and then all of us, it's like, oh, okay, and then all
But
of
Chad's
us
got work to do.
He's got
Chad's
work to do.
He's
got to
They
clear
can't
all
do
the carbon.
They can't do heavy breathing because they don't have oxygen to breathe.
That's
That's
what
the
it was.
point of the entire sketch.
There you go.
The whole thing is, hey Chad, this is Tom Hanks and this is Apollo 11 and we need to get our astronauts home and they need to recycle the script for an SNL sketch because all of these sketches were rehashes and influenced by everything else that we've already seen. So the idea is he's running out of oxygen and he has to put on his suit, seal it up, walk outside and just like crank the canister to get that extra oxygen coming in. And there's like the pressurization and Mars, and they're trying to go ahead and present to you, this is real Mars. So we have to get the physics right. We gotta get the pressure right. We gotta get the oxygen levels right, everything right. And then we have to present it in the sketch to be realistic, like interstellar levels of realistic. And then what's the punchline? Do we spoil it?
No, I feel like, well, yeah, we did, but people are still trickling.
We
in,
haven't
so
we haven't
let's-
said it yet. We haven't said it
we
yet. Do
haven't
we
said
want
it
to spoil it or do we want to
Yeah,
say
we
go
want-
watch it? Josh?
Okay, spoilers. We're gonna give
Yeah,
10
spoiler, I
seconds.
wanna-
Yeah, we got to spoil it. It's too good. We have to. Let's spoil it.
So Chad is like, okay, Miley, I have to go to work because I'm on a headset on a Skype call, real-time communication, no delay between Mission Control, Space Sex, HQ, Space Sex,
Space
HQ,
sec- Yeah.
and they're doing the space sex business on Mars in their little recreational facility, Miley and Chad. But Chad's talking to Elon Musk in real time on a headset. Chad doesn't know who Elon is. Elon's trying to get through to Chad. Chad, stop talking. You're wasting oxygen. You got to save yourself because you're with mitochondrial Eve and you are the
Exactly.
father of the Martian race, of the reseeding of the Martian race.
They really did this?
This
Oh,
was the sketch on Saturday Night Live. Yes.
brilliant. It was pretty smart.
No
I thought it was
shit.
pretty brilliant.
Wow.
It's exactly like that Netflix show Stowaway, I think is what it is. It's like the same thing, right? So they're kind of parodying these things we've already seen.
Look
So
who it
then-
is.
Chad walks outside, he's got a space mask on, and then what happens? He's trying to save himself and he,
Well, it was no, don't do that. Or it was oh man. Should I pull it up? No, I'm not gonna pull it up. We'll leave it for you. Maybe
we're not gonna play it.
Nah,
No
we won't.
copyright
Forget it.
strikes.
No,
You
we
guys
won't
can
get-
watch it if you want to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can watch it. It was pretty great. It was one of the last two. I feel like in the like it was towards the end. I feel like it was maybe just before her second performance, her live performance. Jimmy got
Again, I watched it on YouTube, so it was just the clip.
Oh, okay. Oh, you saw. Okay, so you weren't
I
watching.
wasn't
it live?
watching it live.
Okay.
I was listening to Freeman, who interviewed Chris Knowles
Oh,
for
I-
The Secret Son.
And shout out Chris. Yeah, I was listening. I remember texting.
Brilliant
Chris.
show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great show. Freeman and Chris, you guys nailed it.
Because
That was-
we were gonna hang out Saturday night.
yeah,
We were gonna
And
go
we-
live.
and we all had family.
And-
We all had different separate issues, so that's why. So we're here now. So everything's beautiful.
Can you hear me?
We can, and you sound
We hear you,
delightful.
Jim.
Nice. Hey, how's it
Yeah.
going?
What's up, buddy?
Howdy, howdy.
We got crew tonight. This is a good crew right here. I like this. This is great. So did you by chance catch any of what Alan just ran down there for us with the Elon on Sat Night Live? The SNLs? Or no? Could you not hear any of that?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just
Um,
talking about Saturday night in our lives was disrupted when Elon Musk went on television,
It was disruptive.
live or pre-recorded, we won't know, to tell the world that
He's
he
got
has
Asperger's.
Asperger's.
Which
You
I
mean
feel
the,
like-
the living robot, Elon Musk.
Yes. And I will interject here by saying that it was with all the backlash, obviously, that I still don't understand, except for the fact that he's a billionaire, which I understand, like, whatever. People hate billionaires just because they're billionaires or rich or whatever. And I understand that.
Do you want me to tell you what he's doing in Austin, Texas?
Well, yes, in a moment, because that was my old, that was a place where I lived for a bit. But,
They're ruining my favorite cocaine town.
they ruined my favorite cocaine town back in 2006. I feel like I got out of there in the nick of time. But
So when Houston said they had a problem, was it a narcotics issue?
the stories both Brian and I could tell you about. I mean, he lives down there. I lived down there for a couple of years in Austin,
So,
and oh my goodness, the cocaine stories I can tell you. The whole
So
reason
all those NASA engineers in Houston having a problem because this is the problem.
Houston's
Hey,
a
hey.
drug city. Houston.
let's
Dude,
just say
serious, I am not kidding. I have worked with some NASA engineers in other
And
jobs, and
you can confirm
they-
this?
yes, I can
And
confirm they love the substances.
yeah, and
Okay.
I'll leave it at this. The basically what brought my ex-wife, my then my then future ex-wife together was both cocaine and not in the derog. I'm not saying the derog. Basically, my roommate, after I moved down there with 3 people from Wisconsin. I moved down there in July of 03 with three cats from Wisconsin, and let's just say by September 1st, I was the only one left and needed a roommate desperately, because they couldn't find jobs and just partied. Because every night, am I gonna go see Jucifer or Turbo Negro? Am I gonna go see, Cave In, or am I gonna go see Converge? It was like that. Like every night, it was just like, what do I do? Well, it was the greatest thing, greatest problem to have in the world, right? For rock and roll and especially the style of music, that we were all into. But let's just say the
We're
roommate.
all on drugs. Is that what you're saying?
No, the
You're
roommate
all
that
on
I.
drugs all the time.
Well, no, not necessarily. But the roommate that I had, I'll never forget. I flew back home. I flew back to Austin from Wisconsin from visiting for Thanksgiving, and my roommate Sergio was his name. Should have been a giveaway.
Barsky, did you get credit for your cameo role in that Richard Linklater film, that Slackers movie? Did they give
No.
you credit for that?
No, I was almost in Drop Dead Sexy though. I was literally my ex-wife and I slept through with Jason Lee and Crispin Glover. That Drop Dead Sexy. We had roles, like not just extra roles, but we slept in during that South by Southwest because we had too many people staying with us that we were just like, screw it. Milwaukee represent. There's like 35 Milwaukee cats and different bands at the time that were killing. And it was a blast. But we looked at each other, rolled over, and we're like, should we drive out to Hill Country to do that? Nah, we need to get some sleep because the Mistreaters are playing later tonight. So it was like one of those things. It was pretty rad. So yeah, and then I remember seeing that movie on like Showtime a couple of years later and being like, hey Crystal, come here. Remember that?
All my friends are on this VHS right here.
It was hilarious, dude. And she was a friend with, I think, the costume designer or something like that, and that's how we ended up getting like the opportunity. But I was like, glad we didn't take that opportunity. It was stupid.
It's so wild.
So weird. But yeah, the reason we ended up meeting was because when I flew back from Thanksgiving, back to Austin, my roommate, who was just dabbling in some weed, some cannabis, he had a brand new hot blonde in the front seat, in the passenger seat next to him, and he goes, I got a surprise for you when we get home. And I was like,
it a Shiba Inu? Was it a little dog, a little Dogecoin dog?
yeah, right. We get home and
blonde.
let's just say, oh no, she was a cutie. But I had plans that night because Eagles of Death Metal were on their first tour and they were playing with Placebo, and I was like, I'm not missing Eagles of Death Metal. And it was a very short tour, and I didn't care that tickets were $35, and I'd never heard of Placebo in my life, and shame on me, I get it, whatever. But I hadn't. And I was like, we gotta go, man. I gotta go to the show. He goes, wait, I gotta show you something when we get home first, and then you can go. And I ended up taking that girl, by the way, with me to that show who ditched him, and then that was a mess. But all that aside, he proceeds to break open a thing and be like, yeah, so remember that weed thing? Well, I've moved on to this delicious white substance here. That da 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 da. You mind being my tester?" And I was like, "I'm 22 years old and I do not mind being your tester, not one bit." So that was that. But then let's just say
that man was a NASA engineer.
yeah, right. Well, get this. Then a couple weeks later, I'm starting to hear gunshots, like literally outside my window. Then I'm like, roll out of bed, roll into the Jack and Jill bathroom, close the door. Like, what is going on? And then that was strike one against said roommate. And then strike two was when about 3 days later, he's at work and we had worked at the same restaurant, and I was home and get a knock on the door at about 1 p.m. and it is the most clean-cut gentleman I had seen in a while, and I'll say possibly Hispanic. I don't know.
Alex Jones is knocking on your door.
Could have been. Yeah, could have been.
Hey,
Alex.
come on the show.
Right. And
We gotta look at some financial reports
yeah,
together.
let's pour
We
over,
gotta follow the
pour over
money.
these finances, guys. Come on. And
Because Elon Musk is
yeah,
coming
right,
into town,
right.
and where did he get all of his money?
gotta get to the bottom of this.
Zip2. So he starts this company called Zip2, which is Yellow Pages combined with MapQuest, and then he makes $1 bajillion. Okay, can we get to
Oh,
the?
man.
Can we get to the source of his income at first when he's what 21, 2, 3, 4?
That's a good question.
And he makes his Zip2 company, which is literally.
And we're not
just,
talking zip
hey,
jazz
can
drive
I have-
stuff here, right?
Can I have permission to use your database of telephone numbers and addresses? And then he goes to this other company. Can I use your mapping software, please?
I thought
And
it was
they're like,
PayPal.
Sure, kid. No, well, he gets there. He gets
Okay,
there.
all right.
But his first brilliant idea is not. It's not like let's take pictures and post them on a directory and call it hotornot.com or Facebook, or because all the colleges had Facebook, and then we already had that idea before it became
MySpace.
Facebook.com. So
had
the
MySpace
idea
and
existed
Friendster.
before. But before that, you got Elon Musk, the muskrat, the huckster, the guy who takes the brilliant idea and combines them, and it's Zip2. And then how does he get to PayPal? And now he's the dog father of Dogecoin.
That's tanking, by the way, guys. If those that are in crypto know,
Already got
just yeah. I had Dogecoin about 2 months ago, just like $10 worth.
I'm on Shiba now.
I made some money off Dogecoin, got rid of it,
But
flipped it to
inquiring
Icon.
minds on SNL Weekend Update want to know.
That was
Elon
brilliant.
Musk,
What is Dogecoin?
what is Dogecoin?
That was
It's
brilliant.
It's a cryptocurrency.
How does
What
it
is
work?
Dogecoin?
Over-
What is it?
Wow, they were plugging
Dude,
Dogecoin on
no.
SNL?
They shot him down. They killed Dogecoin. They killed Michael Che. And
Is that how you
and-
took it?
they murdered Dogecoin. I took it as the
You think
biggest.
so?
Oh, it was the biggest fu because I've been in crypto for over a year and I've made good money in it, like screwing around.
It was a little ambiguous.
it was on
ambiguous.
It was on purpose because Dogecoin is the most ambiguous POS of any kind of crypto, if you want to even call it. It's a shit coin. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it
Right.
that uses Crypto Panic or any of HODL, all of it. We all know it's a shit coin. Everybody admits it. It's an open secret. It's not, it's just it's a fact. It's a shit coin. Sorensen, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the chat.
So
My
do
question
you,
is-
you guys think they're taking down the ones that are most vulnerable, or
No, they
are
were
they
shooting.
doing
here's-
it to?
Here's my takeaway personally, being involved in the crypto community to a degree, was that they literally took a shit. Jost and Che took a shit all over Dogecoin because he kept trying to explain what it was, and they kept literally going, "No, seriously though." But it was fun. It was in a
Right.
comical
It's
manner.
funny because that's what everybody around you is. Like your mom, your dad, your uncle. These people are like, "What are you talking? What are these cryptocurrencies? What is Bitcoin?" And now Dogecoin. And the question is, who appointed Elon Musk as the Doge father? Did he
It's a meme.
self-appoint?
It's a meme. No, it's a meme. Yeah, it's a self-appointed. It's a meme literally because it was such a joke of a coin when it first started.
Because I understand that.
Okay.
I've been following it for a while.
Okay.
I'm asking more of a just
Broad.
open question,
Got it.
specifically relating to Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live on Weekend Update playing the financial expert nerd. He's wearing his glasses. He's got his little bow tie, right? He looks like the funny money man. And they're asking him, what is it? And he's telling them all this nerd speak. And they're finally like, well, what is it? And then finally someone says, hustle. And Elon Musk's like, yep.
And
So he's like, a
did it.
wink and a nod. It's a hustle. It's a hustle. And then the next day, Sunday or Monday, he announces SpaceX will accept Dogecoin for tickets to go
to Mars.
So here's the question.
Did
If
he
you use
really?
Dogecoin to buy a ticket on the Titanic, do you expect a return trip or a cold farewell?
It's a cold Chad farewell, brother. That's what
So
that
is this just Titanic 2? Where people are going to
It's not even gonna happen.
accumulate their Doge,
Wow.
buy tickets, fly, space tourism, go up in a firecracker, a penis-shaped firecracker.
Yeah, they're
Or is
dicks. They're fellas.
Okay, they're
Fellas.
going up in a. Come on, guys. Space, sex, ritual. Space is an altar.
Do you think this is like they're going to create a martyr?
If it even gets off the
A
ground.
challenger. We say they're going to
Another
create
challenger?
a challenger.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. I don't want. I
Like a
don't want
sacrifice. This is sacrifice, right?
an altar offering.
What they do.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous, but
very.
you're gonna read the contract. You're gonna read what the ticket says, what the expectation is, because you're doing business. You're exchanging money, Dogecoin, cash, fiat, whatever it is, on a ticket potentially. Right? This isn't too different from what the Virgin guy was doing, right?
Or
Space
yeah,
tourism, Virgin
Richard
guy.
Branson, and then
Richard
also
Branson.
we've got
They're
with Jeff
selling you
Bezos as well.
tickets
Yeah,
to fly higher than an airplane, and you're going up, 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 up.
suborbit for
Yeah.
Bezos and Virgin. Yep.
Yep.
So wait, then we can finally lay the whole "are we traversing on a flat Earth" plane right now. We'll be able to hopefully lay that to rest then, right? Unless the photos just don't seem to make it. But where they're not going past the Van Allen
the
belt. so-
question. Are they going to allow passengers to take cameras with them so they can peer out and take pictures once they're? Is that going to be saying allowed? Are we going to say no cameras, please?
Let's take a vote in the chat and here. Do you think they're going to
electronic.
allow? Let's go around the horn here. I'm going to
'Cause, you know,
say
people on airlines, they're like, hey, please turn your cell phones off. Please stow your stuff.
but that's takeoff and descent. So I mean,
sure. And then they
we
turn
can-
the cameras on and they point it out their window. They get their window seat and they look down and they see clouds and they see craft patchwork quilts of the earth, and it looks like a Gulliver. What's that novel with the Lilliputian?
Gulliver's Travels.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
But
they're
let's go around
seeing
the
the
horn.
patchwork.
Let's go around the horn, Alan.
Alan, are you saying that the space is fake and the actual like missions, what we're sold as missions, won't be missions?
These are all open questions.
They're great open questions. Thank you. I like that answer, Alan, because I fall in the same category. I don't think we didn't go to the
I
moon.
don't know
think
because
the-
I have not been higher than a commercial airline looking out a
Same.
window.
Yeah.
So the question is, if you go to the next level and then the level above that,
Troposphere, thermosphere, stratosphere.
and you're not signing an NDA and you're not official NASA employee and you're not,
Oh, they can
Take
still
pictures.
make them sign an NDA.
right.
I was
But if
contracted
you're
to
a
a different country,
If-
company, and I was under a security NDA. And I didn't
we're
work for the
asking,
government.
will space tourism have limitations
that-
and
we're-
NDAs? Will they take cameras? Can
Yeah.
you take your cell phone? Can you take your GoPro, mount it on your mask when you're
What do we
traveling
think?
up to
What do
space
we
and looking
think?
out the window?
It doesn't mean that they're going to be random people that just let up there. It may seem like an
Yeah,
open,
totally.
This
open
is
end.
Good.
yes,
Good
precisely.
point.
Yeah,
Very good point.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
All
Brian,
the
what do you?
tests, medical tests, examinations before you get
yeah.
approval to travel.
Oh, good lord.
Oh, for sure.
We're- Can we even travel across a border, let alone
At this
space
juncture,
tourism.
yeah, for real.
You know that, and that's what they're selling us right now.
And they've been
Potential to dream.
they've been selling this for how many freaking years now? Oh, by blah blah blah, and then it's push back, however many years, and then it's just the same shit. Well, it's just not. Well, it's excuse after excuse. It's some NASA shit over and over. Brian, what do you think? Would you hypothetically, let's say it's off the ground. Let's say in July of 2021, people sign up, whatever, and they want to do the Blue Origin thing that Jeff Bezos is saying. Let's say they get 1 or 2 people actually signed up, paid for, and these people are, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. This isn't necessarily the case at all, but those people, we don't know who these people are. Either we're not going to know who they are at all, or we're going to know who they are, and they're going to put them in front of cameras left and right, because this is just
Will
how
they be Instagram influencers? Will they live blog their experience?
They'll be YouTubers.
You think so?
Like how, dude, there'll be some shit like that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that
Hell
does.
yeah.
So
Oh
then
my
that
God.
word can get spread throughout the community.
Oh my
The
God.
community.
It'll be a TikToker and a YouTuber, dude. I swear
Yeah,
to God.
it'll be the the cats Tim Dillon makes fun of every week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be someone that's like 28 and someone that's like 18.
18. Yep,
Yep.
the most
That's what it's
easily
gonna be.
easily
Because
brainwashable.
dude, I know a lot of people from the ages of like 22 to 35, and I talk to them and I follow them on the internet, and I see the timelines, I see what they retweet and what they like. It's all I'm like, oh my God, like no wonder I can't talk to y'all about any of this shit, because the shit you watch every day is it's fucking skewing
Brain damage. The difference is
it's skewing your
Yeah.
fucking reality.
is your
It's-
mind open?
And
Is
how
it
open?
closed? Are you receiving, or are you actively like, no, I don't want to see it?
Right.
Yeah.
And my
tell you what,
point
though, man.
is, I want to see it. I want to. If I'm going up to
Exactly.
space, if I'm taking Jeff
I'd do
Bezos'
it.
Blue Origins, they have the giant window. Like, have you seen the capsule?
What
that they're gonna
exactly?
shoot up?
Yeah.
What exactly
Wild.
is
The
Blue
Blue
Origins? I've only
Blue
read something
Origin,
about
Jeff
I'll pull it up.
Bezos.
I'll pull it
Look
up.
at the capsule. They're designing it around a window because people go to space and they want to see. They don't want. It's not like they're going to an amusement park and they're
Right.
strapping in and they're shooting up for the experience of moving their body fast or going to low gravity. They want to see it.
All right, guys, get ready for some phallic imagery because you know it's coming.
Yeah.
And no pun intended.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
It's like
that.
we
Oof,
like it.
that's coming.
Ooh.
Look at that. Look at them windows, baby. Look at these windows.
Those windows are huge.
That's what I'm saying. They're showing you pictures of gorgeous windows, telling you you're going to go up to space. You're going to look out the window. You're going to see an incredible view. I'm asking,
it's a-
will they
it's
be
a-
allowed to take photos
It's a
outside
space
of those
amusement
windows?
park.
Yes.
It's a space amusement ride.
It won't load the photo of the inside of it. What is this?
Nice.
Hypothetically, this is hypothetically
Absolutely.
a space amusement park.
If you're looking
I mean,
out
look
those
at this
windows, it's a big
asshole.
TV screen.
He looks like
If-
such a fucking.
If Elon Musk,
weirdo.
if any of them want to give me the opportunity to do that, I will happily do that for the good of humanity and report back to you guys. So Elon Musk, I used to have.
What will
a
you do it in the
security
Bill
clearance.
Paxton voice from Apollo 13?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Guys. Oh my God, guys.
Hey, hey, Austin guy. Do you know a guy who lived in Austin by the name of Richard Garriott?
Oh, Richard
Or
Garriott.
Lord
There's no.
British.
Hey, stop right there, Alan. There's no degree of separation anymore because
Dude,
my
that's the
Crystal,
thing.
my
That's what we're
ex-wife,
saying.
my ex-wife's best friend Jennifer is married to him. There you
Has
go.
Richard Garriott purchased drinks for you to drink
No, she married
I've
him
drunk-
after.
with Richard Garriott? I've heard directly from him.
So do you know
talking about
Jennifer?
his space story.
Do you know Jennifer then?
I know a couple different Jennifers.
That's his significant other, Jennifer. How crazy is that? And I don't want to keep
know a
harping
couple
on that because these names are, and I don't want to throw my.
Well,
um,
I bring up Richard Garriott specifically because he wrote a book about going to space. He was a space tourist, and he had to go through rigorous medical tests, and NASA said no. American companies said no. He had to go to Russia. So he made Ultima, some computer role-playing games.
The game.
He
made
makes
Ultima, yeah.
online, made a lot of money.
Yep.
And then he made a MMO, massively multiplayer online role-playing game called Tabula Rasa. And then he goes on the Colbert Report from space to advertise his video game with NCSoft Tabula Rasa. While he's in space advertising his space-based military marines MMO game, NCSoft is kicking him out of the company.
Yep.
So he comes back from space, finds out he doesn't have a credit in the game he just designed. Well, he went to space to promote it. And he's from Austin.
It's
crazy
wild.
Story.
How crazy is it though that my ex-wife's best friend I remember her talking about that, like being like, yeah, Richard Gere and Jennifer. I'm like, what? Wait, what? This was this was pre me getting like really deep into a lot of this stuff, a lot of the esoteric all of this stuff. But I remember going, wait, isn't that the gaming guy? She's like, yep. And all this, and their wedding was insane. I don't want to throw, like I said, this is too close to my...
Okay. Software, hardware, soft or hard, BM, bowel movements, space talk, space poop stories. Did you hear the Richard Garriott space poop story in person while drinking with him at a tavern in Atlanta, Georgia? Because it's crazy. He tells the story to everybody. He has mission patches. He has mission patches from his mission going to space, and he gives them to everybody with his signature on them. And he tells the same story about how to go to the bathroom, make a bowel movement in space, to tell you about gravity in space, because that's the point of the story, right? The gravity is different in space, and here's how it's different. Well, you have to use a vacuum cleaner, and you got to do some different activities, and there's a hygiene thing
there's
they
a
have
lot
to
of
be aware of while you're on the International Space Station.
Alan, I don't mean to cut you off there, but there's a lot there's a lot of BDSM stuff involved in that as well that I'm very aware of. So I'll drop it and leave it at that, because I'm not against people, and I'm not a fetish. You know what I mean? Like
this is all public information. It's all published publicly.
The BDSM stuff.
Richard Garriott related?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay, so
he has all of his. He has his pictures.
Got it. All right, never mind.
He's very interested about it.
Okay, cool.
His next game,
I don't know, because I don't.
His next game, I'm telling you, I'm deep into this. So his next game is called Shroud of the Avatar. It's called Ultima Online 2, but it isn't. So he goes to Kickstarter, right? Because he doesn't have the money that he's going to spend on his own game. So he asks his fans to give him money to make Ultima Online 2, except it isn't Ultima Online 2 because there's changes. After the Kickstarter raises millions of dollars, $2 million on Kickstarter. Okay, you got Star Citizen, this other space game, who raises how many millions of dollars from Kickstarter, and then after Kickstarter continues to take donations for a game that they haven't delivered on. So Richard Garriott knows this guy who made some space-based video games at his company Origin Software. This guy named Chris, and he makes the Wing Commander game, and then he makes a Freddie Prinze Jr. movie called Wing Commander, where they go to space.
Awful, yeah.
I remember that.
Right. So you got a movie director who makes a video game, and then you get Richard Garriott, who's like, "Hey, my friend made a movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. So I'm going to the space station. My name is Richard Garriott. You can call me Lord British. Bow before me."
Sir Lord Baltimore works, but go ahead, sorry.
And then he goes to the International Space Station, and he makes the first movie in space. So we're going back to cameras in space. So he makes a horror movie on the International Space Station using his digital camera.
Or was it in the pool in Houston? Sorry, had to do that.
Russia.
These are all open questions.
They are.
All open questions. It's just our line of inquiry. We don't have answers. We have all the questions. I ask a question, you ask 3 more questions related to the question I just asked. So at what point are we getting to answers?
We're
It's
not
a-
going to get to
it's-
answers for a while, but
It's gnosis. We will, and the only thing we can ever know is our own experiences. So the only way we're truly going to know is do it ourselves.
We're talking about our personal experiences. I have a personal
Right.
experience hearing Lord British face to
Yeah.
face, the same room,
Which
drinking
adds weight.
at a tavern, and he's telling me his poop story in space. Weight, gravity, gravitas. This guy has charisma. Does Elon Musk have the same level of charisma as Jeff Bezos? As Bill Gates, who just got divorced or signed a divorce? You see where I'm going with this? So now we have this giant issue of finances is underneath all of this stuff because the finances allows them to run their businesses and do what they want to do. So you get Bill Gates, who takes software that already exists and then sells it and calls it Windows. And now he's a leading health expert.
and he's an expert on viruses when his shitty ass OS is like the most notorious for being afflicted.
But in the
by-
news recently, his lawyer drafted a document and his wife tweets at the same time the same
exact, yep.
image. They twinned the image, simultaneously posted at the same
Gemini,
time.
Pathazane. Where's Greg? Pathazane right there, baby. But we won't. We'll touch back on Pathazane. Maybe a cult fan, or who else?
Well, fill us in. What's Pathazane?
Pathazane. I'd have to dig it up because Greg is the expert on that as of right now. But it's
They can talk and chat. They can leave comments under the video. They can tweet us.
yeah.
This is an ongoing conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Twitter, get on
Mhm.
Twitter, tweet all of us,
or
tag
in
all
the
of
chat,
us.
or in the chat. But yeah, Pathazane we discussed last episode, being, and I'll pull it up while we're going here just to give a little background. But it's one of the Sephiroths.
Well, there's Kabbalistic, there's Kabbalistic
gotcha.
path working. There's astral travel. Is space travel astral travel? And then you get into this movie Contact with Jodie Foster, and you
Mhm.
remember she sits in one of those little Blue Origin looking space pods. They close the shutters, spin her around real fast, get her real dizzy, and then she has this vision of going to a far off planet
There you go. And
on
I
a
want to
beach.
Interverse. What up, buddy? Is in here, and he just said these guys get
Oh, hey,
divorces to Chance is up in here.
Thanks, Chance. We love you.
We do
Fan
love
of the
you.
show.
I mean Chase. I mean Chance. I mean Chase. No, I'm just kidding. These guys get divorces to liquidate their holdings more easily before the engineered dollar collapses. And I tend to agree with that, but there's got to be. I think there's more to that story as well.
We're just making connections and
yeah.
finding similarities between
For sure.
people like Jeff Bezos, who his dream was to be in Star Trek, and he was in the Star Trek movie that nobody saw. He played an alien, and he had a 2-word line. It was like, "What? Speak simply or speak clearly or something," because there's this issue of communication between. Have you seen this scene?
I haven't. No.
So you have
Mhm.
this geek who loves comic books and loves science fiction and wants it to be real so much he wants it to be real. So he creates the reality of the experience of it being real. And Jeff Bezos begged and begged and begged to be on Star Trek, and he gets to be in the Star Trek movie. And he's like, well, I have to have a speaking line, and it has to be important to the plot, and it cannot be cut out. And that's what he stipulated in his contract. So these people are working out contracts and deals and agreements, and they reached an agreement. So he was finally in the Star Trek movie that nobody saw.
What a douche dick. That guy is just such a. Such a tool.
And there's a video sitting on stage. He's wearing some fancy scarf, and he's talking about his appearance on Star Trek and how great it was, and it was a fulfillment of a childhood dream. And his next dream is, I believe, Amazon.
Star Trek
Lord.
Beyond.
Let's go to space. Let's go into the space experience industry where people experience what it's like to be an astronaut.
It's gonna be. It is gonna be fascinating. And the one thing, I'm sorry, I can't picture it getting off the ground. I really can't. It's just too like. There's just been too many delays or too many.
Okay, be specific. Getting off the ground. The business is not going to get off the ground.
No. The fact that it's going to launch with actual human beings in it, I really don't believe. They keep saying, "Oh, we're going to be taking reservations." They've been talking about taking reservations since what, like 2011, 2000. Like after the shuttle program shut down, they've been taking reservations for this nut, right?
Yeah, for decades. Dude.
And they've been talking about it and just like beating it into the public psyche.
Compare this idea of taking reservations for space travel. Is this like reserving your body in a cryogenic freezing thing? So you like pre-sign up for cryogenic freezing? Is that what this is?
That could very well be some Ted Williams shit, right?
Similar, according to Elon Musk, Dogecoin hustle?
Sim alert? Exactly. And yeah, I mean, it feels a lot like it's got that.
We promise to cryogenically freeze your brain.
So
and they do that.
And you make it to Mars.
Frozen.
Yeah. Until they can actually shoot up there. And I'm not talking about junk. So, I mean, it'll turn into junk, space junk.
So people who have died in the past, in our current timeline, who have their brains cryogenically frozen, are they going to be put on spaceships and sent to Mars and then seed a new Martian colony?
I can't see, in all honesty, and I can't see.
Getting ahead in space travel.
Yeah,
isn't that the joke in Futurama?
Yeah.
Isn't that the joke in Futurama?
Absolutely, and in Rick and Morty, and in every any solidly written. Oh man, Futurama.
So is the joke on us in reality?
Absolutely.
Because I'm going back to Saturday Night Live. There's still more to talk about there.
Oh yeah, there's plenty, but I believe what you just said right there, Alan, is it reads true. Cult fan says Gigi Young had some interesting thoughts on Mars. I'd be curious to hear that. I don't know how I feel about Gigi Young, to be honest with you.
Are there spiders on Mars? Are they weaving? We
could be there very quickly, but I don't have anything funny to say because I'm reading too much, and I'm not as clever and witty as I normally am this evening. So apologies, but
it's crazy the amount of information we have.
Yeah. I love you.
Yeah, I love you. I swear. Looks like Brainstorms dropped off. I don't know what happened. His brand new Mac must have taken.
Oh man, hey, love and hate are two sides of the same Dogecoin.
Damn right, bro. Man, that's what I tried to tell.
You hate that you're not getting rich because you don't love it enough.
It's true.
And you gotta nurture your Dogecoin wallet. You gotta pet it and talk nice to it every day.
It's true. You have to play classical music. I mean, there's a lot here. But I want to scroll up real quick because we do already, from a cult fan, have a you-know-who reference. And that would be everybody's favorite band. I will scroll up and get to it. I promise I will. Well, it was a Tool reference to Tempest, the last track on the. Isn't that the last track, or am I wrong? I'm probably wrong, but I feel like it's close to the end of the record of. Now I'm blanking on the name of the last Tool record. Fear Inoculum. Sorry.
Fear Inoculum.
Right.
Yeah.
F-I. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. F-I. I.
What's you guys' feelings on Tool?
Oh, we
like
opened a can.
Hey, stuff, man.
Tool when? What?
You want me to send you a link for this one?
Yeah.
I'll send you a link.
So it just keeps going and going. Like all the Jungian references and stuff.
There's a lot there. The aggro stuff.
It's a lot.
Have you guys made a pilgrimage to the Holy Rock and Roll site in
Which
Jerome,
one?
Arizona. Jerome, Arizona, the Pussifer store,
Oh,
the
yeah,
band and
no, I
brand
haven't.
Pussifer
Yeah,
store.
I never got
Have
into
you
Pussifer
eaten?
that much.
Have you eaten at the Merkin? All
Did you?
organic wine. Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's
No,
insane.
if I went to Jerome, I'd want to do the ghost tours.
We'll get
Highly
Heather. Heather's.
recommended.
I think Heather's. She's there right
Yeah,
now.
'cause Heather
She's
and I-
coming. She's
yeah.
coming back with a report after the 15th of. So in a couple, like in about a week, we'll have Heather back on with full everything.
That's
So-
good because I finished the rest of that, the series thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
So,
been on a couple, and they've been good.
good.
I'm
Fear
I was-
Inoculum.
Fear
That's a
Inoculum.
crazy album. So the
It
question
I
is,
love
right?
it.
Yeah.
I think it's a great record.
Synchromystic, predictive, ahead of its
Gnostic.
time.
There's
Because
so many
you
things.
you
Complete
fold the
Gnostic,
gate,
yeah.
you fold the gate on the record, and the Fear Inoculum turns out to be an injection. Did you see that artwork?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't
right.
buy. I didn't buy the
Holy
physical.
crap.
And then
I forgot
one
about
tie
that.
before y'all continue about that is the who does all of their artwork is my homie,
Alex?
but no
Right.
Buzz Osborne's wife
Yes.
handles all that. Yeah, Buzzo from the Melvins.
Buzzo's wife? Really?
Yeah, she handles all the as far as I could be. I know she handles. Where's Matt? Or
We need some clarification on this. Who does
a cult fan.
Tool?
I will-
Tool. There's a lot of Tool artists, people who have made art for promotional materials.
Can you
for
clarify
posters.
then, occult fan, for us? Is it Buzzo's wife from the Melvins that does the artwork, or what am I confusing there if I'm conflating something? And then also,
There's a lot of tour posters. Their last tour, I think every city had a different unique poster. So
Yeah.
there were unique artists that were contributing artwork for
Hmm.
that. And all of those posters, I don't know if anyone has a complete collection online because
Right.
you'd have
Mhm.
to
They
go
did
to
that.
every city to get the unique poster. Some people were sharing them on social media and Twitter. Some people were collecting them, saving them. Maybe go to the Tool Reddit and see on their subreddit if they've assembled all of them together. But there's a lot of
Okay.
artists.
So
and
we're
I was
not-
thinking Alex Gray.
Alex Gray.
Because Alex Gray is building a temple over in New York, right? This
Is he really?
I'm pretty
the,
sure.
the Cosm, the Chapel of Secret Mirrors, and they're using it to host reliquaries like religious rock and roll artifacts.
That could be kind of rad.
Because that was another Kickstarter project. Alex Gray said, "Hey guys, we need your money to build a building," and
Really?
they sent me yeah, I contributed to it. I get this little pin, like it's like a coin. It's like the eye, with the triangle eye coin thing.
Mhm.
That's the Cosm. And it's like you bring this, it's your golden ticket to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You just present it and you get free admittance because you've prepaid on the Kickstarter. Again, that's another one of those things. In the future, perhaps, hypothetical, maybe, we can go and make a pilgrimage over to New York.
Yeah, Oswald.
Hmm.
Someone did marry Buzzo a long time ago. She's awesome, by the way. I've met both of them. They're both sweethearts. So sweet. Buzzo's one of the kindest guys I've ever hung out with at a honky show and Mudhoney. But anyway, SB is here. What's up, buddy? Let's see. And from Interverse, we got. Did you hear all the cult, sex, magic stuff from the Alex Gray people? Yeah, are up to. Yeah, we've been covered up repeatedly. Guys, fill me in. Why am I drawing a blank on Alex Gray? What the name? I don't know why.
Am I saying it wrong?
The artist?
No. What? I don't. The artist. What is he known for? Why do I know that name?
Because he
If
did
someone
all
wants
the
to screen
artwork
share, feel
for-
free.
He did all the
Like
artwork
trippy
for
Tool artwork.
Tool Art.
Oh, okay,
Visual
okay.
artist.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
He
Beautiful.
did. He did the Lateralis art.
That's the one.
eyes.
That's why I know it. Okay, that's why it's ringing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep,
I got
yep.
it. All right.
So
Jenny,
you
I
said
appreciate
Tool
that.
artist, and my first thing was, oh, it's Alex Gray because
She
I have an
does all
Alex Gray poster hanging on my wall.
Okay, so it's Buzzo's wife that does all the packaging for all the Tool stuff. She's in charge of all of that.
Okay.
That's what I got wrong there, and I'm sure Matt can make sure that that's right. I'm sure he
Very
can confirm
important.
that.
Got to give credit where credit's due. Credit
For
the
sure.
artist. Speak
Especially
to them.
with I love artists. I mean, like that's my thing. That's where I come from. So
Yep.
Yeah, Mackie.
Absolutely.
Mackie
Yeah.
Mackie is Buzz's wife. That's her name. Okay, got it. or what she goes by. Or I don't know. Okay. So going back, I want to bring it back around a little bit to the Musk thing and the Saturday Night Live.
There's so much more to talk about.
There is a lot more to talk about here. And it just, for me personally, I know we were kind of going back and forth, Alan.
How significant does it feel as like a cultural touchstone moment? It seems very forced. Here's our attention.
Okay, I'm going to disagree a little bit. Only on the forced thing. The only reason I feel like it was a necessary thing to take place because Elon is a figurehead, obviously.
Why? Who said?
Well, no, he is, whether we like it or not.
How did that happen? How did we as a culture allow that?
We didn't. He was placed. I mean, that's
Okay.
how I feel personally.
Sure.
I could be
Does
wrong.
everybody else feel that way? Gordon?
Yeah. What do you guys think? You guys think Elon was placed? Figurehead.
Yeah. Well, it's. Yeah.
Yeah. There's
I mean,
no
there's-
two ways. I really don't see much.
Are we talking about an in-QTEL connection to Elon Musk?
Could be
He had definitely connections. I mean, the
Sure.
connections got him
Sure.
to where he was.
for sure.
That's
His
a very
mother
minimum.
was a supermodel.
Who was on
Yeah, 'cause
SNL with him?
what
for
Yeah,
about
she
Mother's
was
Day.
on with him. Jim, did you see it?
Sunday
Oh,
was
right.
Mother's
Yeah.
Day. Elon went on with his mother. So there's all these
All the mothers.
connections
Yeah.
and reasons and agreements that came together to produce this synchromistic
Yes.
story that has a meta narrative.
It was a ritual.
The jokes do not matter. And people are talking, well, was it funny or not? Well,
It's not the
you
point.
watched it. You watched it to decide, well, is it going to make me laugh? It's not going to make me laugh. I'm not going to laugh. But you watched Elon Musk dress up in a Wario costume.
That was hilarious. That was funny. I was like, is he wearing a? That's pretty clever and funny to me because it was.
Okay, who
I like
hasn't
Wario.
seen it? Who's seen it and who hasn't seen it?
I haven't seen it.
So it's just
So-
the two of us, Alan. in
Jim,
here.
did you see it? Anybody in chat see this thing?
No, I didn't see it.
Chat? We got okay.
Because
so-
we're gonna spoil everything about this sketch.
Yeah, if anybody in the
It's
Chat.
SNL. There,
And by-
we don't have any.
It hasn't been funny in years, that show.
Yeah.
it hasn't. It really hasn't. I don't know who's really responsible for that because you can't really blame Lauren outright for that, in my opinion. But I feel like dude, Bowen Yang. Pfft, when the whole
only reason it was funny was that redheaded guy. What's his name? Conan. Conan was hilarious when he was writing for Saturday Night Live.
I thought it was good with Will Ferrell in those days. I thought that was funny. There was good stuff then. I mean, I thought that was good. I thought I'm trying to think.
Chris Farley was pretty funny.
Chris Farley, rest in peace.
Well, here's
Um,
the thing: Saturday Night Live. Are people watching it on a Saturday night as it live airs anymore?
They did this
They're-
last
they're-
Saturday.
On YouTube.
This last Saturday they did, but
They did because they wanted to see Elon Musk talk about Dogecoin. So he comes onto the show. He brings his audience. He tweets it. Grimes also tweets it. Hey, I'm gonna try an acting thing.
And
This is a
Dogecoin
major
tanks
spoiler.
though at the same time. That's the funny thing. And Interverse is saying real quick because I mentioned what we were talking about. It was he placed here? How
Yep,
did he
yep,
get here?
yep.
Let me pull up and
Yeah,
let's see, where is it? Right here.
It's just very curious that he's showing up on Saturday Night Live.
Elon's
Like
mom's
from other
famous
stuff.
Canadian model and family owned. The Canadian? I thought they were from like South Africa. Family owned a sapphire mine conglomerate, which that would make more sense with the South African
In South
connection.
Africa.
Okay. Okay. And
We have another South African connection to veer off to in a moment.
say that
We
again.
have
I'm sorry.
two artists. We have a story about two artists from
Oh,
South Africa going to Liverpool
Going to Liverpool for some
arts
random-
festival.
Exactly.
Showing some artistic puppet shows,
Thank you, Occult
which
fan,
is what
also
we're getting to.
for the Phil Hartman RIP because damn, dude, you're so right. I've seen his audition tape. By the way, anybody that wants to see one of the most amazing, just the most amazing. I wouldn't even call it a monologue. Like I don't even know what to call it, but look up and find Phil Hartman's audition tape, and it will, for SNL, it will blow your mind. That man is one of the smartest, funniest. I'm sorry, Norm Macdonald is top notch for me all the way. If I need like respite and I need anything like, oh God, everything is awful, kind of, if I'm in one of those, if I have anxiety or anything, just put on YouTube and let it roll with Norm Macdonald, and it will just make you so happy. That's just some psychiatric advice from David Barsky, which I am authorized to give. Okay.
Me, I'm an It's Pat guy. I like to put on It's Pat, the movie.
Okay. I couldn't handle it.
The movie.
And
oh, nice.
the movie. It's got to be on VHS.
The movie?
That's vicious.
It has to be in 4:3 format.
What?
It has to be on the TV.
You don't do it on Laserdisc? The big
have a-
plastic ones.
Am
you
I the
know?
only one
Yeah.
that's laughing?
Do you have a copy? Do you have a copy of It's Pat on Laserdisc? Because if you do, I need to see
We
it.
will buy it from you.
I need
I'll
to
buy
see
it
it.
for you, Alan.
I need to see it.
A what? A copy of what? Which one?
It's Pat. Did It's Pat get
Oh, it's
printed?
Pat.
Laserdisc?
Oh, I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
Dude, I've seen some really
That'd
awful
be
movies on
hilarious, though.
Laserdisc at
Yeah.
at
Night
swap
at the
meets.
Roxbury.
Ooh,
Night at the Roxbury.
I can't do that. Chris Kattan, man, he just rubs me the wrong way.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
so
seriously.
MacGruber was
Oh,
a
that was
movie.
good. That was good. That was funny. I
What?
love.
Are you serious?
I love him.
I
Yeah, I
didn't
love.
see it.
Was that Sudeikis?
SNL sketches as
that ain't
feature-length films, 85 minutes.
That was a good movie. That was fun. Not a good movie. It was funny. I always thought MacGruber was pretty damn hilarious. And same with I love Bill Hader, and I think Barry is one of the best shows on HBO.
Oh, Barry's
I
a
think
great show.
Barry's amazing, and
Barry's
I
an
pray it
excellent
comes
show.
back. And it's from the same guy who does Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Childish Gambino or Donald Glover. Same
Right,
cat.
don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Ah,
in
okay.
Community
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase. There you go. Tie
Chevy
it all
Chase
around.
was in it for a few seasons, and
Yep.
he's like, you know what? Nope,
Who was
I'm
supposed
done with
And
it. I'm
we
done
got
with the
the
role.
Jeff Harmon connection here we got the Rick and Morty here for Milwaukee.
How many
there you go.
seasons in a
I've hung
movie?
out with
How-
Jeff at Comedy Sports in Milwaukee in 2000, which is really
How
random.
many seasons in a movie?
What?
Of what, Barry?
How many seasons? Well, the Community line is you get
Community, I think
Community.
it's
this
3.
guy, who's the guy who loves television. He's in Community, and he's Abed. He's kind of
Yeah.
was he Asperger's too, you think? Because he loved
Yeah, oh, yeah.
movies, and
Mhm.
he's making a movie while they're shooting a sitcom, and that's the thing with Abed.
They were
And then-
consciously making him
Yep.
autistic. Yeah.
Just an
Yep,
update
yep.
real quick, gentlemen. Brian Storms, aka Jerky Fresh, he
Is he
just
back?
gave us an update. He said the storm knocked out his internet, but it's back on. He's going to run to the store and see if we're still streaming, which we will be. So I
Tropical
will-
Storm Andreas has hit land.
is
what
that
we're
what's
talking?
going down?
Are we
But
talking?
it doesn't go as far as
Tropical
Dallas.
Storm Andreas.
Doesn't normally go that high. It usually bleeds
maybe
into
Houston.
Austin and then breaks up right on the hill country.
Unless it's a superstorm,
Could be. And Lord knows what they've had down there.
because that's the first one of the season, right? Letter A, Andres.
Anybody in that area in Texas in the chat?
Yeah, if anybody's in the
So we have
Texas
Andres,
metroplexes.
We have Andrew. We have Andres. Andrew Cuomo, who was also on Saturday Night Live.
Wait, was he really? They let him on that show?
Yes.
Oh God, that guy's such a tool. Speaking of BDSM. Ugh.
So you want me just to
Is he-
unwrap this
Keep
Wario
dude,
courtroom sketch?
Just yeah.
Please do.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay. So imagine the Toadstool courtroom, the Mushroom
Oh, no.
Kingdom.
I walked out of the room, sorry. When it was going down, I was like, whoa, Wario, this is pretty funny. Go ahead.
People on Twitter are like, this is my fever dream. I can't imagine how this actually aired on television. They're like, this is the deepest, wildest, wackiest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, yes, you are 13, and I remember when I was 13 too. Great. Let's go on with this sketch,
Let's do it.
comedy, courtroom. It's not Judge Judy. This is the Mushroom Kingdom. Female judge, and there's a trial because it begins with Luigi. Do you remember the sketch?
I don't, because I remember seeing him in the Wario costume and going, oh, I gotta go make some chai. So I remember
Yeah,
walking out.
I made a picture of it, and I'm trying to figure this out. and I'll probably
Light 'em
share
up.
it on Twitter after the show because there's just so much going on,
If
and I just have to start in the middle of it.
do you want
'Cause
me to pull
you
it up?
have
I'll pull it up. It's fine. It should be open use. I mean, for YouTube. Yeah. Let's see.
just go to
I'll check it
Twitter.
out.
Go to Twitter, type in Elon Musk Wario, and then
Okay.
just start scrolling through
I'm
the
on it.
feed
I'm
and
on
just
it.
showing these screenshots
Okay.
because you have this trial and this idea that this Mario character was killed, injured, murdered because there's a banana peel, and they're blaming Wario for putting a banana peel in Mario's path. So Mario is dead. Mario's lost his life. So this is a murder trial.
Guys, I gotta show this while you're going. I gotta show a screenshot of this because this is from
Yep.
Super Mario Wiki, and I am proud of them right now. Okay, here we go.
The wiki was used as court evidence in this sketch. So there's a lot of synergy going on.
Just heard. This is from Super Mario Wiki. Just heard we were mentioned on that Wario SNL skit, and then they display a screen cap of the Wikia/fandom page. Nice hack fraudery there. That's something, I guess. I do wish our first reference on national television wasn't on something so terminally unfunny, though. Bravo. Seriously, that's awesome.
Wow.
That's
So
brilliant.
he's the defense attorney. He turns on the flat screen, shows this Super Mario wiki to describe the character of Wario, and Wario is described as being greedy. Elon Musk is described as greedy Wario. And in this video, on the Twitter feed, they play his theme song.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's the Game Boy Mario World's theme song. So they're going full on with this Mario cosplay theme.
It goes toward how my client is unfairly painted as a villain. Listen to his theme song.
That's brilliant. I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
The gavel's good.
It's total fan service. And
Oh,
people
completely.
love it because they want to love it. They want to laugh. And
I
it
wanna
is
laugh.
funny.
That is funny.
I'm looking at the bizarre aspects of this.
I love
Because
it.
you have the Mushroom
It
Kingdom.
is bizarre. It's hilarious.
And there's this crazy guy who released a scientific paper stating that there were some pictures taken of Mars and they look like they're fungus, they look like they're mushrooms. So I have this connection of a story about mushrooms on Mars.
Which
We have a trial of Mario, who on March 10th, M-A-R, Mar 10, Mario, March 10th is Mario Day. Mario, Mars, War, Wario, Elon Musk,
damn.
Mars is the red planet, and now there's a story saying that there's mushrooms on Mars. And then we get a trial involving mushrooms and Mars and war. Mario, Wario, mushrooms, Mushroom Kingdom.
My head just exploded and I can't find an emoji for it. Holy shit. dude.
Well, I'm glad it's your head and not something in your pants because that was part of the trial where Luigi's going for some late night squeegee with the
Nice.
Princess Peachy.
I don't blame him.
And
Get
this
yours.
is the court record. So again, Edward Stone warned us that all of our text messages were saved and they're on the official record. And this comes up in court as a plot line in the comedy of
Oh
the
my
trial of Mario.
God.
So as it's funny, but it's frightening.
Diabolical. It's fucking
It's-
diabolical.
It's evil, like Wario. And now they're associating Musk with greedy Wario. So let that sink in a little bit. Let that syncery sink in. That synchro mystic meta level storytelling.
He just walks
And-
into it, doesn't he? Elon.
Well, did he approve this? Because did I tell you? Did I make it clear that Princess Peach is played by his real life wife,
Grimes.
or did they marry or not? His
Yeah, they
baby
just- His
mama,
baby mama.
Grimes. Show the picture of
What did they
Grimes as
do?
Princess Peach
Maybe
on the
not.
Twitter timeline.
You got it. We'll
It's
pull it up.
actually her. Yes, it is, because she announced Friday night on her Twitter, "Hey, I'm going to try out acting tomorrow night.
Okay,
Watch me tomorrow
mhm.
night. I'm trying out acting, making my world premiere live on Saturday Night Live in the trial of my husband who's being accused of killing Mario." And then
Killing Mars, yep.
Waluigi shows up, and Waluigi, when you watch the sketch, take close notice of the words of Waluigi, basically talking about some inversion here, right? So the character is an inverted Luigi. Wario is the inverted Mario. And this is all on display. And you're like, well, yeah, that's obvious. It's in the lore.
Inversion. It's always inversion.
Yes.
They always head to inversion.
Yes.
Luigi! Ruining my life! Luigi, no! Ruining my...
Oh man.
It's meme worthy. They made it to be meme worthy. And there I
course.
am. There's
They
my
did.
tweet.
You can see it.
I'm
yeah.
mentioning it.
Oh, nice.
That was my tweet. Yep.
If you had a,
Click on the one from May 9th where it's Elon Musk is literally Wario. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. There's a picture of the Popular Mechanics article saying scientists believe these photos show mushrooms on Mars and proof
look
of
at that
life.
hairline though. Look at that hairline. I love it.
I had to include,
you
I had to
superimpose that on,
include-
right? Yeah.
He's a
Look,
spray
on the
can. It
left,
looks like somebody
he's-
should be above
Yeah.
him with a spray can.
On the
For
left,
real.
he's 23, 24 years old.
23, 24, yeah. Plugs.
He has
what?
better hair now.
No, he's got
than he
great
did when
hair
he was
now.
23.
He's got fantastic hair.
Yeah. Wow.
And look at that
And such-
mustache he's got. He's got a great mustache as Wario now.
yeah. It's the new Hitler.
So
It's the new
again,
Hitler mustache.
Trans Hitler.
It's all.
Sorry.
Everybody's gonna start
Okay.
growing this out. Woo.
at what point do you just throw your arms up in the air and say, do the Waluigi? Whatever, I don't know. It's like the
For
you know
real.
the W. It's like W.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's not a
We
game
can't-
sign
we
when they
can't- we
make a
can't-
W with their hand.
Take away from the Wu-Tang because that's just that's sacrilege. But that's
Wu-Tang
okay.
isn't whatever. Wu-Tang is everything.
Wu-Tang is everything.
Waluigi.
And for the children. But
So you got
it's neither
the
here nor
you have the purple Waluigi. You guys were talking about purple earlier, and then all of a sudden they bring out the most popular Nintendo character being Waluigi wearing purple.
purple. Dude, it's
There's
heavy.
purple.
It is heavy. Ben Krug, what's up? What up, buddy? Good to see you over here. Thanks for subbing to the backup.
But that's not even where it gets bizarre. This is
Let's-
just the setup.
Let's get extra weird.
This is just a setup, and this is all in the sketch that you can watch on YouTube. So where do you think they're going? How do you think this sketch ends? Is it like a verdict, guilty, not guilty?
Like I said, I can't even spoil it, so I really have no clue how this would even wrap.
Gordon, you haven't seen it. How do you think the sketch ends? What do you think is the final punchline?
I think he's guilty.
Do you
Is that
think
fair?
that they're going to follow a normal logic of court? This is
Of course
Alice
not.
in Wonderland style shrooms sketch. The whole humor is based off of taking
Oh.
mushrooms.
Yep.
The sacred mushroom.
Wow.
Microdosing. They make a microdosing, macrodosing joke saying that Luigi is now sleeping with Princess Peach. Is this because Mario was killed by Wario? This is graphic, detailed, dirty murder stuff. So they're saying, who killed Mario?
Oh, I see where you're going.
Mario, he goes to the castle. Is Mario the king? Are they killing the king? Is this a kill the king ritual?
Yeah. who's the-
I don't know if they're that deep in their thinking.
Whoa. But is he at the level of the king yet to where we can honestly tie that up here with if we're gonna do that? I mean, Elon Musk, I don't feel like he's at the level and loved as much as a JFK, if you will, if we're gonna do that 33 the king kill kind of
Well,
thing.
they're fighting the
ritual.
dragon. They're fighting the dragon. Bowser is the
Bowser,
dragon.
yeah,
The
yeah,
whole
yeah.
goal of the Super Mario Brothers game is to
Slay the
defeat
dragon, save the
Koopa,
princess.
slay the dragon. Yep.
Yep.
There's that dragon again. Man, I haven't seen him all over
This
the
was
place.
1980s.
85.
Japan.
Right.
85.
Bring it back from them.
Japan
85.
loves to take Western esoteric thought,
Yep.
include it in their video games, Christianity, mysticism,
Gnosticism, yeah. Then, well,
Gnosticism,
I mean,
and
the
they put them in their
Demiurge.
video games.
Yeah, all the
Demiurge,
Demiurge
yeah.
stuff and all the RPGs, it's insane. It is insane. Like
But
Sephiroth
Nintendo-
in Final Fantasy VII, for crying out loud. Come on, guys.
Right. Nintendo would censor this stuff. They'd localize it to a Western audience. So if it's Castlevania, they'd remove the cross. If it's Legend of Zelda, they'd remove crosses from Link's shield. I got Link here, you know. And when the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time was localized to
That was a
America,
wrap.
they
Yep.
removed
They removed the
Muslim
cross.
chants. They
Yeah.
removed
Ooh.
Muslim chants from the Fire Temple.
Shit, man.
So if you got the gold cartridge, version 1.0 of Ocarina of Time in your 64, you listen to the Muslim chants in the Fire Temple where there's a fire dragon that you go to defeat, right? The final boss.
That's that
in the-
gin, baby. Smokeless fire.
Yep. Yep.
Dude.
So going back to the sketch, because it's, you start to unpack it, you start to pull at it, you start to think about it, and then you're just like, am I overthinking this? I mean, the symbols are right there. They're so obvious. But where does it go? Where is this going? And then they show the toadstools as like the jury. This happens so fast, you're not really thinking about it, but the jury are these toadstools, these little mushrooms, and they're animated. And we watch the sketch, they quick cut to the jury, and the jury's like, they're talking about death, they're talking about sex, they're talking about sex magic rituals, they're talking about laying pipe, they're talking about booty calls, they're talking about drugs, they're talking about cocaine, they're talking about Nintendo characters in the most profane way possible. Did Nintendo approve this sketch?
Clearly
Is Nintendo
not.
going to sue them?
Doesn't.
You're
They got
taking a family
case.
property
They've got a case for sure.
unless they approved it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Did Nintendo of America approve this?
Is it still even?
Did they
I
run
wonder- is-
Switch commercials?
Does anybody?
Are
I'm
you getting-
curious. I didn't see any Switch commercials, by the way, and I did kind of pay attention to some of the commercials because I was like, oh, really? But because some of the local commercials got so absurd towards the end, they start to air the super local commercials. So I remember paying some attention, and I saw no Nintendo. Maybe I did see one Nintendo Switch commercial actually.
I think
Maybe
it
did.
falls under fair use and under parody.
That could be for.
Is this libel though? If they're saying Wario is evil
No,
and he
they-
I don't
murdered
know.
Mario?
Nah,
I don't think
they've
so.
gotten
No.
they've gotten away with a lot worse.
Do we have a moral majority in America who's going to find Tipper Gore and CBN and TBN and all these people to rally around
Spiritual
a
warfare, baby.
moral
Spiritual warfare.
purity in this property? Because Nintendo's a family company. They sell games to families. And now when your kid watches Grimes as Princess Peach talking about sexual acts with Luigi, so is Grimes Edgar Rice Burroughs Princess of Mars? Because she's the Princess of Mars, Mario. You got Mario, Princess of Mars, Edgar Rice Burroughs, John Carter of Mars, Sex and Rockets, John Carter.
Yep, they got them. Tie it around a feral house.
You following me here?
Tie it to King Kill 33 with Downward. Oof, it gets.
So when you
real
have
messy.
Grimes showing up as a princess wearing a crown because she's a princess, and if you're married to a princess or you're conjugal visiting a princess in a castle, does that make you royalty?
Heavy. This is.
And if
this
you're
is
killing Mario,
insane.
they're talking about killing Mario. But I'm trying to get to the end of this where Mario, does he get extra life? Does he have extra life? Does he reincarnate? Does he come back? I mean, there's metaphysical questions in
Yeah.
this sketch comedy.
Hmm.
And then it goes off the rails. They don't know how to end it. So they go non sequitur end.
Of course, because
In the worst possible way.
They have no idea how to write.
So Wario's like, I have to defend my character. This is hate speech. I am an Italian Japanese man, and you hate me.
Wow, they went to race.
And we're like, you're making a race
Really?
joke? They make the worst possible race joke when
Bring the Stop Asian
Andrew
Hate.
Cuomo shows up in the court to end the sketch and basically saying, hey, the Italian American Anti-Defamation League.
Oh Lord.
That's not a punchline. That's a kick in the balls.
Exactly.
That's anti-humor.
Yeah.
So they're
Wow,
saying
Absolutely.
So
That is
then
the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Mario comes back alive into the courtroom. He has an extra life. He's got 3 more lives left, but he's played by Keenan. So he's a black man. They killed a black man, and they're talking about a black man who
What?
came back to life as a Mario. But the Italian American Anti-Defamation League with Andrew Cuomo says, hey, you guys are defaming our characters as Italian Americans. And then the sketch is over, and you're like,
Yeah. Brain pain
Wow.
indeed. Brain fucking pain. But the best kind of
What?
brain pain.
and I'm like, did anybody see? Did anybody?
For reference, Alan, when was the Cuomo SNL episode? Because I pay as little attention as possible.
Well, he's the New York governor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then,
do you remember when
I
that
don't-
was by chance? Was it recent?
I don't know, but they're referencing in the sketch the fact that Elon Musk says people on the internet like us are mean because we're asking questions and we're
Oh, yeah.
talking about it and we're having this sort of dialogue, which is a cultural critique. We're saying, what did we see?
Right.
What did they show us? If you're a parent and your kid's like, hey, I love Super Mario Brothers. I'm playing my 3DS, Super Mario World. Hey, Mom, can I watch this sketch with Mario on it? You got a child. You're a parent. Are you going
And
to
a lot-
pre-screen this?
Right.
You're going to say,
I
no,
mean,
I can't show you this. Mom, Dad,
It's
why can't I
Nintendo.
watch the
Yeah.
screen? It's,
Yeah.
it's Mario. It's Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Um,
It's comedy. So you're a not cool parent for not letting your kid watch Elon Musk and Grimes in cosplay costumes.
See,
on
I mean,
Saturday
then
Night Live.
we get to a question though of okay, Gordon, you're a father. Jim, you're a father. I'm not. I'm not going to speak for Alan. But in your fatherly opinion, parental opinion, okay, so we know at this level that the programming runs extremely deep, and I'm using that term loosely, obviously, because it's abused in our community, especially. So we're on meta levels here, hella meta levels.
That's
what
where
would
we're
you-
at.
what-
Metal
what-
Never.
What would you guys think? I mean, after hearing all of that, I mean, I'm still processing, and I'm going to still be processing for quite some time after this. And by the way, as soon as this is over, I'm putting this up in the RSS feed for the podcast version. I don't care that I'm like 5 behind. This is going up, and then I'll catch up because this is too good.
This
So
is current events. We're just
yeah,
talking current
yeah,
events.
and this is
what in the
current.
world's going on?
So, but for you two for Jim and Gordon, I'm curious, what's your take on that? For, if your kids came at,
I'd say that SNL is about as damaging as TikTok.
I understand, like, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you want to expound a little, I mean, TikTok is retarded, and I don't, like, I think it's stupid, but that's just my opinion. People seem to have fun with it. Whatever, let them have their fun. Because we're so far gone. If you,
Hey, Dad, what's the Italian American Anti-Defamation League? What is that? I don't get the joke, Dad. What is it? What is
What
hate
is it?
crime?
Yeah. Hey, Dad. Let's both.
What's that? What is a hate crime, Dad? Mom? Will someone tell me?
But I feel like they're going to get that from school if they're of a certain age. They're already
Yeah,
been
they're
indoctrinated
already-
to a certain extent.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we went to parochial schools, Alan, so we had a different experience. But I mean,
The
I went to some
question
public
is a hate crime funny
A hate crime is just
If the answer is no, it's not funny, then why is it on a sketch comedy show?
but at the same time, I have an issue with the term hate crime because I feel like or hate crime, especially because a crime is
Hey
a crime
man,
is a
I
crime.
hate crime.
Right, but a crime is a
like
crime is a
crime.
crime. I don't think you can really. That's like thought. Then you get into the whole thought crime thing because then you're assuming there's hatred involved in the crime that's been committed because this colored person. And usually that's how that goes with hate crimes, quote unquote, where you're attacking a person of another, descent or what have you, like or a different color. If we're going to be that ridiculous and lame about it, skin color. So who's to say that you can get in that person's mind at that time unless he's screaming, "I hate this." Blah blah blah, and says a pejorative at them or whatever. It's a matter of I have an issue with that because it's so loaded and ridiculous that it's just, it's a mess to begin with. But I know that digression was a bit absurd, but at the same time, I feel like I need to.
But that's
address
what we're
it.
dealing with. We're
Right.
dealing with an absurd level of humor,
Right.
and it's a question mark: is this humorous or is this
No.
humiliating?
This is humiliating. Like,
And
absurdist-
why is Elon Musk going on television to play a greedy Wario character?
Self-deprecation.
is-
Self-deprecation to make himself more acceptable. That's kind of it because he knows that there's that. And then at the end, I'll say this because it proved it all to me at the end. One of the last skits where he said, the last skit of the whole show, just before they ran the credits and they're all out on the stage with their moms in the masks. They're robbing a bank or something. It's an Old West skit, and they literally had. I don't know if you saw this, Alan, but they literally had.
No, not yet.
Okay, it's disgusting and awful. Elon Musk's, and this just proved it all to me. It's just like this perfect way to just sum it all up. They're robbing something. He goes, "Hey guys," and he's like the nerdy guy that's kind of smart. Where they're all dumb like Western robbers, and like.
Did we mention the weekend update?
No, we will, or I think we did. But hold on, let me just get to this. This is important. Okay. So they're about to rob a bank or try to ambush these other criminals who are going to get to the gold before they get to, right? And Musk walks in, he's wearing a hat, and these are all just like hillbilly, morons, just like, well, if we don't blah, 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 I think we should ambush them and blah, blah, blah. And then Musk comes in, he goes, I got an idea. And it's all awkward and horrible, obviously, it's like his acting. And he goes, I got an idea, guys. Why don't we dig a hole and then we'll tunnel underneath and then we'll come up and surprise them. And then they're like, who let Lee Ron talk again? Like they made fun of his name, like totally whatever. And like, man, you on that did it. Just ripping them. Cecily Strong is playing the proverbial, the token prostitute, right? It's like on some Deadwood Westworld type shit. And then he's like, well, what if we, blah, blah. He goes, well, we're not even wearing masks. You want to go in there maskless like that? And he goes, well, and then he looks at the camera, deadpan, and goes, well, I did make a mistake by saying masks were not effective in any way and it's stupid to wear a mask, but I was clearly wrong with that. And he said it as dead serious as he possibly could, basically just like flushing any last bit of
Canary in the coal mine.
libertarian, whatever he's.
Tell?
Yeah, and to me, that was the end of it, where it was like, "Wow, you're sincere."
What's that smell?
Yeah, exactly.
There's some gaslights in this mine.
Exactly.
I think we're mining some gaslighting,
they-
hustling Dogecoin.
Verbatim, he said that though. Verbatim,
They're-
that
so-
I made a mistake by.
They're mining for gold.
No, they weren't mining for gold. They were trying to rob.
Are they mining for Dogecoin? Are they mining for Ethereum?
good,
Are
that's
they
good.
mining for what are
That's
they
good.
mining for? So you have Elon. You're telling me you have Elon
It wasn't
Musk in
mining.
a mining sketch.
It wasn't a mining sketch. No, they were They were a band of like robbers. Okay, that were like being
So
attacked.
it's not
No,
like
no,
Gold
no, no.
Rush times?
No. It wasn't. It was more of like bandits.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, it was bandits. They were
So
going
the
to rob
story's more
another
about
group,
stealing wealth.
stealing wealth.
Wealth
Yeah, because
transfer.
along those lines completely. So
Like
I
a
love
divorce court.
love the way you're reading this.
Bill
I
Gates
love your mind.
divorcing
Can
his wife.
Can I rape your mind? No,
I think you're already in it.
I know, I
I
am.
think
I just realized
all
that.
of our minds right
Are
now
raped
are just
collectively.
mind melded. Our minds have melted. Elon Musk has melted our minds because he is the guy who brings us all the good stuff. He goes on Joe Rogan, and what is he famous for on Joe Rogan? And then he goes on SNL and he talks about
self-deprecates about that.
shrooms
In
and
the monologue,
microdosing
too.
and macrodosing. So all this talk about changing your consciousness, and the whole thing was like a fever dream.
Yep.
Mushrooms on Mars. I don't know. But you said something about digging a hole.
Well, it was okay. So they wanted to get to this gold from they were going to rob these other bandits, right? Type thing, and they knew where their gold was stashed. And Elon's proposal, or Leron, it was like it was hilarious because that was clever. So anyway, not very clever.
We
it's
did
just
laugh
funny.
at some of these sketches. We don't.
There wa-
It's not
yeah,
like we don't
there
have a
was-
sense of humor.
Exactly.
It's not like we're being overly critical and
Right.
guarded. We are spontaneously laughing at the absurdity of this.
It was pretty. Yeah, especially.
And then
the
we
monologue.
spot another joke on a meta level, and we're just like,
triple laughs. But yeah, it was along those lines where he was using his boring company, to get to the obviously it was a joke on his silly boring company.
but his boring company drills holes into the earth.
And I wonder how many of those dumbs he's run into in the process. Just throwing that out there while I type this out because I can't think. and
So
type at the moment.
that connects about 3 other things
Yep.
that I wanted to go off of.
Let's do it.
And boring company, digging holes, archaeology, and the reason I came on this show was listening to the Free Zone with Das Alt. Das Alt is talking to Freeman Fly, and they're talking about a lot of really interesting topics. So I'm tweeting them, and I'm like, as I'm listening to the show, I'm doing my research, and I'm finding out what they're talking about. And he's talking about Liverpool. He's talking about the Mersey River, and he's talking about this mall. They're building a mall. So there's archaeology in this historic area where they're digging to lay the foundation, to lay the pipes, the sewage, the infrastructure to put up a shopping complex. Do we need a new shopping complex built in 2020? And they're opening it now. I mean, are people going to the malls? And they have all these arts festivals to celebrate it. So this other connection has to do with South Africa, where Elon Musk comes from. Do we confirm that? South Africa, Elon Musk, birth certificate? Show me the birth certificate of Elon Musk.
It's a good. Mm-hmm.
Show me the family trees. I want to see the bloodlines. I want to know who the mother is. I want to see the matriarchal mother line. Because we have Elon Musk again. We have Grimes, who birthed this alien child. Is it a hybrid child? Is it DNA genetically different? I don't know. I mean, these are the themes we're talking about. These are the themes they're making fun of on the surface. And trying to connect this back to this arts festival in Liverpool. Why Liverpool? What is Liverpool? What is the significance of Liverpool? Did the Beatles play there a couple times?
Did they? That's I mean, I was thinking about that actually the other day. I was pondering the whole Liverpool thing because I listened to
Yeah.
that with Daz too. But I was like, what else is it about Liverpool? And then I started marinating on the name a little bit too. I'm just like Liverpool, and that kind of caught me. And then something else obviously stole my attention away from that. But I remember pondering that and being like, what the fuck is it with Liverpool? And obviously,
Well, we were talking about royalty, and there's this company called Royal Deluxe that makes
Okay.
giant puppets.
Okay.
This is
Oh.
what they were
Here
telling us
comes-
about on the
Ooh.
Freeman Show. So we have these
Okay.
giant marionette type puppets.
Right.
So we're tweeting back and forth about why are they shutting down the city of Liverpool to have giant puppets walk through. And they were talking about Titanic, the story they're telling about Titanic and Liverpool. And there's this guy in a diver mask, like an astronaut helmet, but he's going underwater. And we saw that in the Elon Musk Chad sketch. There's a helmet and there's oxygen and there's pressurization. This will all unravel and you'll go, I see the connections. But there's so many of them and we're getting there slowly but surely. So this guy named Jean-Luc Courcault has his company, Rel Deluxe, he's French, and he makes these puppets and he calls them Lilliputians. Wait. So you have these Lilliputians who are manipulating the movements of these giant puppets, and they're walking
Conversion.
downtown. So they're
Conversion of the
saying
name.
Gulliver's Travels, Lilliputians,
Rosicrucian.
Liverpool. Who's a Rosicrucian? Who's a Templar?
Yeah.
Who's a knight? Who's going on a journey? How many knights riding one horse? All these, we understand, we see them, they're in front of us, we're talking about them. And artists are using these connections to tell stories on a meta-narrative level. So we ask ourselves, do we want to go to Liverpool to see a puppet show? Maybe, maybe not. But apparently a lot of people did, and they made this big tourist thing.
Pilgrimage.
So there's a lot of discussion about money and finances because they're shutting it down for a weekend. All the businesses, they went up parking because the streets are closed off. Because they have these humans called Lilliputians wearing Lilliputian costumes, walking down the street, putting on a live action role-playing puppet show in the streets of Liverpool. And there's a few different instances when they've done this. But Jean-Luc Courcault says he's fallen in love with Liverpool. He compares it to the Milky Way. He uses specific language to say, Liverpool to me is like the Milky Way. There's just something about it. I'm just drawn to it. It's just really special.
As above, so below.
Sure. Yeah. And going back to Liverpool 1, the shopping facility, the Mecca Retail Center for the area that they're building, and they have another lights festival that they're opening up with. And now the big thing forward looking in this timeline is another puppet show where they have this daughter puppet, this little girl puppet, and they're taking this little girl puppet to Liverpool from, and you'll have to look on Twitter to see the map, across Muslim countries, Turkey and such. And I'm not sure exactly where the first stop of this journey is, but I know where it ends. It ends in Liverpool.
Real quick, Alan, I don't want to interrupt your flow. The map is where? What would I search it out under?
It's on my Twitter.
Got it. I'll find it. I'll grab it. I'll grab it. I got you. Keep going, buddy.
You know what a daughter isotope is? When an element is transmuted to another element by taking away an electron. It's called a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Just a side note.
So I asked the question, and this is I guess it might be a difficult question to answer, but why did two men, artists, they went to art school together, fell in love, create art together, they go to England and they put on a Team America World Police adult puppet show with two male puppets. Now they're taking a daughter, so two dads, one daughter, on a journey of discovery of a lifetime, and they have a lot of school curriculum. They're involving the children. They're using it as a teaching moment. And I'm asking, you have countries who in the past would violently dismember people, stone them in the streets. You guys follow me here?
Yep.
This is history. This is what we're taught in America. They say these countries are violent. They say religious fundamentalism means that you don't have free speech. That's what makes America great, is we have religious freedoms. But we're not Liverpool, we're America. We separated from the Queen. We had a Boston Tea Party. We left. We said, we don't want to deal with that. The Pilgrims on the Mayflower left. Our history tells us in American schools for religious freedoms.
We all know, well, the lines there with historical, whatever you want to call it, and I'm not even going to throw the rock
Right.
name out there, but I mean, it's just a joke. It's a joke. Period. There's no other way around it.
This is real. This is real life, and this is real history, and we are relearning so much.
Mm-hmm.
And what we learned in our public education in America was very specific, and they told us. Side note: today I'm doing some spring cleaning. I have my planner from 2001, and I'm like, I wonder what I wrote about in the month of September when school started. So I open it up, and I go, and my only note is, POD has a new album called Satellite. It's releasing on this Tuesday, September 2000.
Oh. I'm sorry.
I feel so alive because I am the youth of the nation. And my
That's
favorite
right,
band
that's right.
is on MTV,
We
TRL.
are.
And I'm calling it every day because I gotta see POD #1 on TRL. Because Christian music is finally going on MTV. MTV, Masonic Television, where they play the music. In Times Square, where Andrew Cuomo appears and tells us, here's the puppet, here's the giant.
Yeah, there it is.
Wasn't just the Giants who showed emotion when they finally found each other at King's Dock. Most witnesses found themselves hunting for a tissue too. Oh, how sweet. How sweet.
Well, yeah, you're having a tissue because it's a very emotional, dramatic presentation for all the souls that we lost on the day they bought a ticket to go on a ship called the Titan. I mean, the Titanic. I mean, okay, is a Titan a man of renown? Is it a tall guy? Is it like a leader of industry? So you have wealthy people buying tickets to go on a wealthy boat with insurance.
Just before
on the boat.
Jekyll Island too, wasn't it? Or was it post? Just right around that time.
So this giant story here, this guy, you see his little helmet there. He's taking his helmet off because he's holding his, this little girl, I don't know if it's his daughter.
Marionettes. But go ahead.
Sure. And you see in the red, those little guys in the red, those are
Yeah.
little cushions. So they're showing you the scale. They're saying these giants, these Nephilim, these men of renown, renowned men on a flat earth, walking across water from a Muslim country to Italy, because they have to cross water. And the path on the map, if you find it on my Twitter, there's a path of a map, and they're drawing it, and it
I
goes
couldn't
over
find
water. So you have, I don't know if puppets are going to walk over water. I don't know if are they Jesus now, or what's the deal?
I wasn't
So
able
click
to
on
find
the
the map.
click on the link. Go back
Okay.
to that tweet, and there's a link called Giants.
I
Scroll
know where
down on that.
I know where it is. I think it's
The link is Giants.
Yeah,
the Giant website,
Okay.
and then you just see. Just scroll up. We were talking about Oscars. The important Oscar ceremony.
Like
on cinema.
the Tim and Eric shit. Yeah,
Tim
that's
and
fine.
Eric. Yep, there it is. Giants, Liverpool. Right. So we're asking ourselves,
What the?
as Americans, understanding culture, what's the significance of these giant
How dare
puppets
they? Because they've
going to
whitewashed it.
Liverpool?
And also, like, Ben Grundy and Aaron Wright have been touching on this very recently on Mysterious Universe, going very deep into all of this, which is fascinating. The timing, obviously, we're all on the same level here. We're all, the wavelength is, it's a strong current here.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. It's a synchromistic current bubbling
Yeah.
up to the surface, and we're all being forced to talk about it.
Yep. It's awesome. I love it. It's fascinating that, my goodness.
Man, it could go to Oswald Spengler, it could go to William Sims Bainbridge. There's all these historical figures, and the best we can do is search on our smartphone for a Wikipedia entry to understand the complex lives of these people. And if we click on links to Wikipedia articles, we find other people that they're connected to. But we're using our minds here to make connections from the knowledge that we've gained, past, present, future, and just trying to put some connections together.
For sure. And Alan, did you by chance get that message from Alan or from Oswald Spengler in the chat? Could you ask if Alan...
Yeah.
Okay.
About William Sims Bainbridge. Yeah. I've got so much information.
That's a whole nother show, I'm sure, right?
And the question is, as researchers, how are we preserving this information? How are we documenting in real time as it happens? Because this is a huge festival, and this is in the past. We're looking to this new festival that's happening this summer with a lost daughter narrative of a little girl who is a wandering immigrant looking for a home, and they are accepting
Anubis.
her.
Look at Anubis. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's a big black dog.
Yeah, it is. It could be
It is
black
a big
dog.
black
We
dog.
can-
Whose name is Zolo, who's even non-dog lovers. He's maybe an alien dog with a name like Zolo. Is he from?
Well, Zolos
Is he
are
a canine? Is he a
Zolos
serious
are the
canine?
those are the South American dogs that are hairless.
Yeah.
Have them up here.
Are they
We've got-
neighbors with the Dogons? The Zolos and the Dogons
Maybe they're
have a little powwow together, and they say, "Hey, we don't want these giants walking across Africa. Send them to Liverpool." So
This
in
is-
Liverpool, again, it's not directly related to this giant thing, but yet it is because it's an art festival. So the questions are, the government sits around, decides, they plan, we're going to have public land used for arts displays, festivals, parades, gatherings, and we have to issue permits for this, don't we? We have to have our law enforcement all together and on the same page so we can keep public safety. And they have to shut down the city. And
Whoa.
again, Liverpool, there's a picture of this guy. His name
This
is
guy.
Jean-Luc Courcault, which reminds me of a modern day Jean Cocteau. He looks like he's trying to be a Jean Cocteau.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get back to that.
His
also
name is
looks like-
Jean-Luc Courcault. Courcault.
Yeah, there's no.
Really?
Courcault. His name is literally Courcault. Courcault. American says, "Hey, Courcault, I'm going to see the Courcault presentation of puppets." That's him. There's another two guys. That's what we need to find next. These other two guys from South Africa who are
Ugh. Savile. Dude, what
He's
is
like-
this guy's up?
He looks like
Ugh.
he looks
Ugh.
he looks like Dandy Larry Bud Melman.
Dandy? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is
So you're a member of the Liverpool City Council and you're going to approve this permit for a guy from French.
he's from hold on, let's get it right, I guess.
He's from France, but he adopted the city of Liverpool. And you literally can't spell the word Corcult with O-C-C-U-L-T. Literally, in his last name
There
is
it
the
is.
word
Occult.
occult.
There it is. This is heavy. Oh, its hometown
So
is
for-
Nantes.
So if we're playing with anagrams, word games, creative inspiration, what is the fount of this creative inspiration? Is the fount of the creative inspiration the waters of Liverpool?
And we also have his hometown as an anagram for Satanas, Satanus,
Where's
You
he
know what?
from?
That's
or Satan with two N's if you want, or with the E.
John Luke Corcult,
Rachel.
he was given an honorary degree from Liverpool University. He didn't go
Oh,
there.
Of
He didn't
course.
study there, but they gave him an honorary degree.
Okay. Let me just read this for the people listening on the audio only in the podcast. So, how the Giants came to Liverpool. What is up there? The bus had paused at traffic lights on Lime Street.
Spider.
And spiders. There you go. And a woman was staring out the window, pointing at the top of a tower block. Concourse House, once voted Liverpool's biggest eyesores, was attracting a different sort of attention. It's a spider, the woman exclaimed. It was 2008, Liverpool's year of European capital of culture. I'm just some who knows. And the city's people were getting used to weird and wonderful things taking place on the streets. But the giant spider was definitely unexpected. It appeared quite suddenly on the side of the office building, apparently curled up asleep. But it wasn't long before it climbed down and began to explore. Holy shit! And if you could see the photos here,
It's like an octopus climbing up a tall building. It's
and
like
that's
Dude,
what.
Doc Ock from Spider-Man.
I'm half tempted to just get one of those and just to
20
piss off my
20 story.
HOA.
Okay, so La Princesse was the 50-foot tall metal creation of French arts company La Machine and Liverpool's first experience of large-scale street theater. She roamed the streets for 3 days, dwarfing some of the city's landmarks and fascinating the crowds who gathered to see her. Then she disappeared in a fog of dry ice into the mouth of the Queensway Mersey Tunnel. Well, there's that.
There it is. That's the connection to this Mersey.
I was just about to say.
Mercy, M-E-R-C-Y?
Yep.
Or
Mersey.
mer as in merman, mermaid. Say what? I'm
Mhm.
just a dumb American trying to become a cultured global citizen, and I'm learning about Liverpool. I'm learning about creative artists, how they think, how they present themselves, and how they transcend limitations, creative, sexual expression. It's all out there in public, in the streets.
And here we go. Here's some of the kicker here. It seemed like nothing would ever top her visit, but the La Machine was in Liverpool. Its co-creator, Jean-Luc Corcult. I'm not
It's a
sure.
female machine.
Yeah.
It's a female machine.
La, not le.
It's a feminine machine.
Walked into Merseyside Maritime Museum and spotted a letter written
Maritime.
water. Written by a girl to her father on board Titanic. It would be the inspiration for Corcult's return visit to the city with his new company, Royal Deluxe, with cheese. We were looking, quote, we were looking for a new production to take place in the city center, and things just came together, says Wendy Simon, Liverpool's deputy mayor, responsible for culture, tourism, and events. But at first it was hard to know what to expect. Quote, it's very hard to imagine, says Wendy, who was one of the team who brought the Giants over for their first visit in 2012. Quote, I can't remember going to see them perform in Antwerp. Antwerp, don't get me started on Belgium, and being given the script and thinking, gosh, don't they half sleep? And running through the streets of Antwerp, which was no mean feat, amongst crowds and recognizing why is it that they sleep a lot? The Giants do like a siesta, partly then for those who don't speak, that's a nap. Partly to give the thousands of people who turn out to see them the chance to experience them up close, and partly so the Lilliputians, Lilliputians.
Right, because that goes back to a story of Gulliver's Travel.
Yeah, the Lilliputians, who operate them get a much needed break. You have to, quote, you have to physically be there and experience it to realize how wonderful it is.
Yes, you have to be
Have
there.
to.
It is your moral imperative
Duty.
to witness this public ritual.
Yep. It's a play that's conducted on the streets of Liverpool. Ritual. People really engage with the characters, with the story that they're telling. As the show progresses, they forget they're not real. There it is right there. As the show progresses, they forget they're not real. And the
forgot.
Yeah, I forgot
Wow.
that
I
wasn't.
forgot
That's insane.
that this display in front of me
This giant.
is not related to reality in any way, but I don't know why I'm swayed and why my emotions are
People are
manipulated.
riding it like a freaking. In this photo here, these people are literally
It's like
riding.
War of the Worlds. It's
Absolutely.
like a tripod landing on Earth. But this was a friendly spider.
Yeah. He's one of us.
Who wrote
right
who
there.
wrote War of the Worlds?
She was.
Okay.
Royal Society, Tavis, or not Tavis, Royal Society, Fabian. Anyway, I'll shut up. There's also the wonder of the Giants, how they move, the engineering behind it, and the music. It's so joyous. It's always great to see people running through the streets to catch them, and that look of happiness they get on their faces. The Giants' journey finishes in Liverpool, where it was their last performance in the world. Cocotte revealed this at a press conference in the city while taking a break from rehearsals. Quote, I have reached the point, I'm not going to do a French, I have reached a point where there needs to be a change, he said.
What? Why?
Yeah, what change
Cha-
needs to be made
what
here?
Change?
Doing the same thing until I die doesn't interest me. And though he managed to remain steely during this, and that's Stely for those, if you need to look that up, go for it. But if you do,
Stele, like a steel, like a Stella, like a state, like hey Stella.
yeah, right.
Thanks for watching, Stella.
There's so much sleep
Stella!
references. Liverpool's Dream, the Dream in Pictures.
Yeah,
Don't they half sleep?
yeah.
Time to awaken the giant.
Yeah, and this is since 2012. 2012, how many times has that been brought up? 2008 and 2012. Okay, since 2012, we have explored Liverpool to prepare the giant event here, and I've been overcome by the history of the city, he said. Over time, I developed a real connection with the people of Liverpool. Of all the different cities I've been to for these events, Liverpool remains for me a bright star Sirius in the Milky Way.
Whoa.
Let's go.
Did he just say that?
Yeah. Yes, he did. It's quoted
mean,
right here. Over time.
This guy famously does not give interviews. This guy famously does not talk about what he's doing.
Well, there
and
you
then
go.
when he makes a statement, what does he say?
The bright star.
Over
which is,
time, I've developed a real connection, real, fantastic connection with the people of Liverpool. Of all the different cities I've been to, these events that they allow him to put on, they don't allow other events. They don't allow other people to come in and speak. But they like this guy from France, this Courcult guy, who gets a free pass to do what he wants in the streets with your children.
While referencing Sirius.
In the pictures.
I mean, I don't know what bright star.
This is all on the internet. We're just scrolling through a public website, liverpoolecho.com.
Oh, my God. Oh, and Stella. Yep.
Oh,
Stella
we're
Moon.
trying-
Stella Moon in the chat. Just, yeah.
Hey, Stella.
Hey, Stella.
This
We
is like
love you.
this is like the steel of revealing.
Yes, absolutely.
STELE. The revealing, the apocalypse.
Unveiling. Yeah, this
Have
is.
we lost anybody with this conversation?
I'm sure
Are
we
they
have, but
following
that's
along?
fine. That's fine. That's not an
Don't
issue.
stop. We just want
Okay.
to check in and make sure everyone's still with us because we're not even at the point we're trying to get to.
Okay,
We're
so
having to
I'm
make all
going to
these-
wrap this reading
We're
up and
having to
then
make
we'll continue. Let me just wrap this real
Yeah.
quick. Okay, so all right, so blah blah blah. Okay, so this isn't just me buttering you up with poetry. It's really a deep, fundamental part of myself and my whole creative life. I am in fact in love with Liverpool. End quote. And judging by the way the city's people has taken the Giants to their hearts, the feeling is mutual. Quote, we're really proud they chose us to do their last production, says Wendy. We know
First
they've-
and last.
Yep, first and last.
First and last.
We know they've got a real affection for the city. To be their finale is phenomenal for us. And I'll leave it at that. and we'll
Phenomenal
continue on.
finale. It's like a fireworks
Phenomenon.
display.
Yep.
You know, when you're done, you
Grand-
show off
grand
fireworks
finale.
display. Like you get some really expensive SpaceX rockets and firecrackers, and you just light them all off, and you get all this
Collective
bottle
org-
of energy,
Collective.
all this bottle of energy, and you
Sex
gotta
magic.
let it out simultaneously at the same time in the streets of Liverpool.
Climax it out, baby.
We're not even at the climax. We're not even. We're getting there.
We
We're
might
getting
have
closer.
to do a 2-part because we're running a bit long, but that's okay.
Yeah, this.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
Did
need,
you guys see how close that guy looks to Larry Bud Millman?
ooh. Oh man, there it is.
Like it's creepy how close that.
There it
dude
is, Alan. Yeah, it's give him those wonky Elton John glasses and we're gravy.
Elton
Those are
John.
good days.
He's a good musician, right? We're going to see
Great.
his movie, his
He's a
biopic.
great musician.
So I wanted to connect Liverpool to James Joyce, another artist.
Do you?
And-
We're gonna end up having to do at least another part of it. So if you
Alan, we need to do this.
yeah. So if you wanna go find a decent breaking point, and maybe we'll go for 15 more minutes or so, and then we can rip into this. Tomorrow or whatever.
Well, yeah. Let me just lay it out bare, and then we can see
Okay.
what people bite on, what they want to know more about, since we're doing this public for an audience here. So there's this going back to Mersey, Liverpool won this shopping facility, and they're doing the excavation. And I have to ask if the reason for these giants going to Liverpool, as you know, did giants go to Liverpool to die? ? Are giants buried along the Mersey River
Ooh.
in Liverpool? Did they discover giants when they were digging around to put up a shopping mall? Did they find large humanoid skulls of humans that were 8 to 9 feet tall? Were they men of renown? Were they Nephilim? Were they fallen angels? Were they just royalty? Did they have better genetics? Did they eat better food and they just had growth spurts? Did they find those bodies? Because in America, we have some mounds.
Absolutely.
We have some bones. We have some giant skulls.
They're
Yeah.
right up here. I mean, just right northeast of me here in Arizona was the Apache battle with the giants legend.
There's that. Yep. We have multiple
Well-
mounds here in Racine here where I am, like that are
Yep.
like it's crazy here, and there's
They've been so much in like just everywhere.
covered up by the
In
Smithsonian.
Mario, you eat a mushroom,
You grow
you
big.
grow larger.
Mhm.
Power
So
up.
there's a
waking us
book.
up.
There's a book by Richard J. Dewhurst called "The Ancient Giants Who Ruled America: The Missing Skeletons and the Great Smithsonian Cover-Up."
Yeah.
If you want to know more,
We're
look
gonna
at that book.
and Alan, post the show. Can you email me if you have like those links available or some of that by chance that you could send me? That would be awesome because we'll post that definitely in the notes for the video and in the
So
in
the-
the podcast.
So the final point I wanted to get to was the tallest person in our recorded history before 1940. Born February 22nd, 1918, Robert Pershing Wadlow, sometimes called the Alton Giant or the Giant of Illinois. Was he playing basketball? I don't know. His height was 8 feet 11 inches, just
Holy
under
sh-
9 feet.
Holy shit!
He weighed 490 pounds.
8'11". 8'11". Nobody even in the like NBA, like what was it? Minute Ball took it for a second, and then I believe it was
Look for a
What was
picture
he,
of
7
Robert
3/4
Pershing
or 7
Wadlow.
1/2 or something?
Say that
He
again.
was just
Gordon.
over 7. He was just over 7 foot. Right?
He was 7'7". The tallest is technically in the NBA. Because I'm an NBA nerd. It was him and Georgie Mirasan was 7'7" as well. Those are the two tallest. Yao Ming was only like 7'2", 7'3".
Hey, Alan, before we go
Yep.
further, and I lose the question, maybe you know, maybe you don't, and I don't remember. Because you were talking about the Giants walking across the water,
Mhm.
and isn't that part of the Giants Causeway story in Ireland that the Giants walked across to Scotland?
That's where we're trying to get to in
Oh.
our
Ooh, look at you, Gordon.
storytelling.
Look at
It's-
you, Gordon.
We have a smart pupil in the class today. I'm learning just as much as you guys are. This is all in front of us. And if we're sitting watching Elon Musk talking about Dogecoin on Weekend Update, calling Dogecoin, what is Dogecoin?
Yeah, exactly.
What is it?
I still
What is
can't answer it.
Dogecoin?
Still
Yeah.
can't it.
Is it a hustle? It's a hustle.
Yep.
So Elon Musk is telling us Dogecoin is a hustle. He's telling us he is a Wario. He's telling us he is a hustler, maybe a muskrat.
Absolutely.
Elongated muskrat.
It's pretty apparent. I mean, for those, you don't. I really don't even feel like you need that keen of an eye to see that, because clearly, even those the woke police, I don't even think it's. I'm not going to give them any. I'm not giving them any credit. Sorry. So never mind. I'm going to retract that before I even say it.
Yeah, so what we're looking forward to this summer, and I encourage all of you guys to go on Twitter, follow this organization, follow all these people as they're posting pictures about one little girl, one big hope. Little Amal, A-M-A-L. Amal, Amal, is Mal bad? Does that mean, is that a positive thing? I don't know. A young refugee embarks on a remarkable journey, an epic voyage that will take her across Turkey, across Europe, to find her mother. She's looking for her mother. She wants to get back to school. She wants to start a new life. It asks, will the world let her? Can she achieve what now seems more impossible than ever? Following the phenomenal international success of The Jungle, Good Chance, in collaboration with world-famous creators of the Warhorse Handspring Puppet Company. This is a different company, but the similar thing is it's a puppet show, giant puppet show in a public ritual. They're going to present the most extraordinary work yet. It's called The Walk, a traveling festival of art and hope in support of refugees, with artistic direction from Amir Nazir Zouabi. In 2021, from the Syria-Turkey border, would you be stoned crossing the
Seriously,
Syria-Turkey
dude. Seriously,
border
what are you
for
thinking?
having the cojones we have 4 cojones here because we have 2 men taking their daughter across the border. I don't want to go there, but it sounds to me like they're moving. Cars are trafficking borders, child, 2 men.
Templars.
What is the story?
We don't.
here?
Yeah. If Greg was here, he'd be queued out. Thank God he isn't.
Well-
right now. But go ahead. Sorry, Greg. Had to do that.
So again, they're telling us this puppet, this little Amal girl, and you saw the pictures of her earlier on
Yeah.
the Twitter feed. They call her Little Amal, and she's from the Handspring Puppet Company. She's representing all displaced children. They tell us she is representing
There you go.
all displaced children, many separated from their families. Little Amal will travel over 8,000 kilometers, embodying the
orphan
urgent
thing,
message, don't forget about us. Missing children, don't forget about us. At this time of
This is-
unprecedented global change, the walk
think-
is an extraordinary artistic response, a cultural odyssey, a Super Mario Odyssey.
This is I'm
Wait,
getting enraged
this-
right now. Yeah,
Wait,
it is.
is-
It is.
Is this signaling human
Transcending
trafficking?
borders. Transcending borders
That's what
politics,
It's a
right?
middle finger to all of
language.
it.
to tell a new story of shared humanity and to ensure the world doesn't forget the millions of displaced children,
This is a
each
middle
with their
finger.
own story, who are more vulnerable than ever during the global pandemic. Vulnerable children more than ever during the global pandemic.
Oh, and
Little
may I
Amal urgently needs your help to advocate for, and support
the Pfizer
young
vaccine that just
refugees.
got approved by the FDA for 12 to 15-year-olds? Oh, sorry.
Please support the
Right.
walk by donating. They're asking for you to donate today.
What the fuck?
But again, we didn't even get into the people behind this. Who are the two men who designed this story?
Let's leave it. Let's leave this hanging. Let's leave this hanging, Alan.
We have some
This is
homework to
great.
do.
This is amazing. And that is the biggest middle finger I've ever heard to the entire human
Holy
trafficking
shit.
thing and people investigating
This
it or
is
even
what
giving a
we're
shit.
looking forward to as they cross through Italy. Why are they going through Italy? They're walking over water
Rome.
to go through Italy. You asked earlier something, the other puppet show, the other guy, the John
Yeah.
Courcault guy, Jean-Luc Courcault at a maritime museum. Is the Maritime Museum, does the Maritime Museum have different maritime laws?
Laws,
Are there
Yeah,
different
very
maritime
laws.
courts?
of course.
Mario, Elon Musk in a court, they're making a mockery of the court as a joke. And the punchline is Black Mario is resurrected. And we're tired of
is that the
the
Antichrist
weaving
time? Is that what you're saying?
spiders hate speech. You guys are
Yeah.
saying these things on the internet about me, Wario. Remember Elon Musk, who posts a meme about Microsoft and Zune, and the guy, the famous political cartoonist, got real upset that Elon Musk reposted a meme of the art he created with his name removed, the art changed to say vaccine 666 Zune, Elon Musk. You see that meme? Did anybody else see that one?
I don't think I did, no. Are we talking Zune, like the failed iPod?
We're talking
I
watch
still have one.
Elon Musk's Twitter feed and see the jokes
why
that he
not?
says
I follow.
and then see what he removes.
God,
Okay.
I hate Twitter.
The tweets that remove, the tweets that remain. What's the difference?
That's why I have
Free
Wayback
speech?
installed. So everybody, I encourage everybody to install the Wayback machine, download it, get it. So, you know, these things can be brought back.
So I don't know what this Liverpool obsession is. I don't know this James Joyce connection to Liverpool, the portrait of an artist of a young man. What is the mythology of Liverpool? Who are the Titans? Why are they walking the streets of Liverpool? Who are the men of great renown? What is Genesis? What is Revelation? The revelation of John. Are we living through the apocalypse now? Is this what the tribulation looks like? Is there a rapture? And are we going to space? Is that our rapture? Or did the rapture happen when the CEOs disappeared?
These are all valid, great questions. My mind is blown, and in the best way possible. My brains are scattered all over these walls, and
That's fun.
Your brain is Elon Musk. Elon Mush.
Yeah, roomed.
It's like shrooms on Mars.
This is heavy. Knowles, you're jumping on sooner than later too with this one. Sorry. Not sorry. But anyway, we're going to continue this tomorrow. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody hanging out.
Let's get on Twitter. Let's ask some more questions and let's try to find some answers.
Let's work together. Yeah. I mean, that's what this is all about. Bringing all of us together, all very like-minded. Yeah, we got homework to do, people.
We just want to find the information that's posted publicly on Twitter, their websites, and we just want to read it and just see what it says.
It's there somewhere. They always signal this stuff.
They have, yeah.
That's what this
feels
is.
like it's a rule. It feels like the rule. I'm not going to say it is the rule.
That's why I was sharing with you guys the Wander, or what is it? Was it Wander? Yeah, the Wander movie with the guy with the implants. They're signaling. They're showing you they're doing it. They're doing it. They're showing you the completely wrong way. But they're showing you it happens.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out too. I will.
Don't
definitely
pay for it.
No, I won't. I don't.
Pirate section.
P2P, man.
You will pay for it.
Yeah,
we're all paying for it.
We've already paid for it. Actually, let's be realistic here, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody, we're gonna sign off now. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, morning, wherever you may be in the world. And
thank you so much.
Leave some comments, guys. Leave some comments on this video.
Leave comments on the video. Questions,
tell
whatever
us
you have.
What is wild? Tell us what is off track. Tell us what is on track. We need to navigate. Help us
navigate navigate these waters together, maritime or not. And
this is a crazy odyssey.
It definitely is. And we're gonna be back. We're gonna shoot for tomorrow to come back to continue this. So yeah, thank you everybody. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you, Alan, for blowing everybody's mind. Gordon, thank you for being here. Everybody, we love you. You know, this is us, so whatever. Ooh, we live inside your minds, though, so don't forget that.